and then later they use it to make their roll better. Well, in this game, you make your roll better, well, technically by buying down the obstacle by taking a doom, and then at a later point, I use that as a fate point to compel you to do something stupid. So it's just like flipping the and it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It
to
worked
track
out
it
really
onto,
well.
Yeah, to track it on each player, because then you can do it that way. But if something comes up, I'm sure you could swap one doom for another doom or something.
It can always be fluid too. If something's not working, we can always change it.
Yep.
Right. And something else that I enjoyed about it is, like in Fate, your fate points are rooted in an aspect. So you have to like put a lot of thought in how you're going to get this person. You're like, I want him to do this. Now, which aspect is going to work? And how can I twist it to make sense? You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas with Doom, I'm just like, well, you've been musing about this, and based off the situation and the behind the channels talk that I'm hearing, I'm thinking that you would probably think this about the situation, and how would you react to that? You know what I mean? And it just takes out the structural, like, sort of codification of you have to choose your compel based off this, and instead I can base it off of stuff that makes sense.
Right.
So I'm rambling.
Well, I don't know if you call it rambling, but you were, on a very good explanation.
He's a rambling man.
Rambling.
All right. Who would like to take care of the quick recap as to the wonderful things that happened last session?
Go ahead.
Is it? Oh, it's not a written one.
I don't type shit up. I'm
I was
not.
gonna say-
I'm saying off your
Where's the little thing?
your imagination recalling MJ. That's what I'm talking. Remember the post I made, Jacob, where I said MJ has taught me to my random abstractions. This is what I'm talking about. I was like, fuck it, just recap, go. I don't have anything written down.
So Relay was in. God, I forget the town name now.
Waybury.
Made his way to Waybury. We had Azar show up looking for him. We had Perrin show up looking for him, and everybody ended up at the was it Harvest Festival?
Yes, the pumpkin
carving contest.
Yeah.
When Relay got a little spooked and started to run, and Azar and Perrin followed him. When we noticed the giant storm coming from the mountains, Perrin foolishly ran and started a riot. When Azar followed him to the blacksmith shop, but Relay was able to get away through the trap door.
Mm-hmm.
The fog or mist or storm surrounded the town, and they saw a guy riding his horse out into it and just drop over like he was dead. And then Perrin managed to save a bunch of people into the inn, but it didn't end up mattering because the fog came in there too and knocked everybody out. Azar kind of walked into the fog and surrendered himself, which didn't work real well either. And then all three characters woke up in the throne room of a lich sitting on top of a pile of skulls with a bunch of hundreds of townsfolk from all over the countryside. And he said there are 13 skulls of Balthazar. If you find one, you live. If you don't, you die. Then we woke up on the side of a mountain with a half orc, a three-quarters orc,
3/4 orc,
and the fat man. After some pushing and shoving and arguing between everybody, Relay called down powers from one of the gods. I don't remember if we even said which one it was. And
lightning. That's the extent.
Froze everybody, and we decided to go our separate ways.
Wait. He paralyzed everybody. Walks over to a rock and looks under it.
Let's sit back.
It was like, well, I got everyone held here. Maybe there's a skull under there. And I can just
That
get
cracked
out of
me
here.
up so bad. It's like, everyone pause with the power of the gods. Okay, what's under this rock?
Finds
mushrooms.
the skull, runs away. We split up. The 3 humans, 4 humans, including the fat man, went their own way. The 3/4 orc tried to dump a rock onto the fat man or any of us. Perrin pushed him out of the way, and Azar, I'm not going to be able to unsee Vault's pronunciation help there. Azar used, what was it, Astral Whip or something like that?
He
Grabbed him
Go
by
ahead,
the leg
explain
and
your
pulled him off the
spell.
cliff.
It was like
His
a
spell is
tentacle thing
rather
out of
important.
another room.
There
Yep.
you go. So we are on the side of the mountain, and we're going to start looking for the 13 skulls of Balthazar.
There you go. This is where we left off. Now, you guys don't know exactly how long you were in the mountain. You don't know how long you were out. I guess I should have been getting my notes out while I was talking, but instead I sat here and now I'm looking through them. All right. The party descends the mountains. They're eventually met with the forest down below. Hunger begins to set in as the sun draws low in the sky. The fat man is complaining that he is tired. What would you like to do?
Let's feed him the 3/4 orc.
We eat the fat man.
Yeah, I second that. There's plenty to go around.
All right. How are you guys seeing this?
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's all dark, just like a path.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
Just
like
making
little-
sure it's
Yeah.
unfolding
Yes.
correctly. You guys do
Yeah, Fog of
indeed
War
have
on.
control over your tokens. Okay.
Yep.
You move them. The lighting updates on drop. Now we're all adults here,
Cool.
and I expect that if you guys come across something, you
happens.
pause and say, "I came across something," so that we can address it. So if you split up and one of you goes off and finds a dragon and you're alone, you better be like, "I just found a dragon."
I heard a story about how we should never split up the party. So,
But
oh yeah, it was macro shift, man.
you guys should be able to see your scene, whatever's over here. Aspects. Night has fallen. The sound
no,
of
we
night
can't see that.
echoes,
Can y'all
chirps
see
and
my
howls. And
Yeah, I
light.
can see it.
Okay.
I can. What did I
We can
put
see
it on
it
the
now.
GM overlay?
It was
Put it on
hidden
the map
there.
overlay.
So y'all can see my light,
Token
right?
Yeah.
overlay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what I did wrong. I didn't put it on all players can see. There, you should be able to see it
Okay,
now.
sweet, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But basically, night has fallen. The sounds of night echo, chirps, howls, and the like, and hunger twists in your belly. Now, at this point, you guys can do whatever you want. You can split up and go in random directions. I don't give a crap what you do. Just if you find something, you have to claim it. And also, you're perfectly free to role play amongst yourselves. But we'll pick it up with the fat man complaining that he is tired.
You should
Dear
move
Paladin.
that man like a cargo.
I
thing.
will.
Okay.
I'll move him around.
Yeah, Relay's ignoring
Dear
the fact.
Paladin, are we going to be stopping soon? My feet. I'm not used to doing this much traveling.
I'm afraid we're not stopping until we find a suitable place to camp. We don't know where we are, and we want to make sure that
Holy shit!
we are safe. What
Oh,
the?
dear.
There's yeah.
What is that? What did
Would
you
I
find,
recognize
Azar?
this? Would I recognize what this is?
What in the crap? Dude, are all y'all's character sheets gone for you?
Nope.
I have mine.
I have mine.
Yeah, I've got mine.
Oh, I see what I did. Sorry, by some crazy randomness, something had gotten typed into the search by tag,
Oh
and
yeah,
nothing
now
is
it clears
tagged.
them all. Yep.
Where did everything go? Oh God, that was worrisome for a second there.
Oh, I gotta
All right.
tell you about my macros too. I posted up
Oh,
Yeah, I saw.
macros. So if you want to, I got the image to chat one out there too. If you want to make a macro to post something out
Gotcha.
instead of just
Yeah.
posting links, it's a lot easier just and quicker for the game if you just post it with the image to chat. That being said, let me preface this real quick for everybody. You have to, when you click on the image, you have to right click on it and say copy image address. Coppage. You got a coppage image address, and then you post that in as the URL, and then you can set it up to chat. Because if you post the link or the whole entire URL from the one thing there, it won't come up right.
it's funny. I look at Jacob's character sheet, and he's like me, no fucking notes, nothing.
Yep.
I got it all on.
I look at Matthew's character sheet, Matt's character sheet, and he has minimal notes. He has a few notes.
Let's guess what end they have.
Character sheet, and it's a goddamn novel of shit that he's been writing down.
I'd say
Just reminders.
I'd say that's dead on all three of us.
Hey! I took a note.
Exactly.
I have that Grumsh idol.
Yeah, that's true. He took a note.
I know.
But
I
I
did
told
a
him.
thing.
I told him to take it because I would forget. Anyways,
Would I recognize what this is? Clearly it's gruesome, like a grim totem or something.
it is a grim totem. If you would like to do a lore check to figure out what the totem is of, or indicative of, at least, it would be a simple obstacle 2 lore check.
Oh, good.
Do you remember
Yeah.
how the system works?
I'll just roll as is with no potential because I am good at lore.
Ooh,
Fair
me too.
enough. Well, there you go. You recognize this totem of being a totem that the Gnolls use to give reverence to Yinogu, their patron demon. The thing that strikes you is as you glance at these skulls, they don't actually appear to be skulls. They appear to be carved out of stone, and the blood on it, instead of being blood, is actually pulverized red roots that are smeared over it to give the indication of blood. Now,
I swipe my fingers across it. What did you say it was made of?
pulverized red roots, like beets and shit like that, basically.
Okay. Oh, I thought you had more. Okay. I swipe my fingers across the red root, or the rhubarb pie. And I lick my fingers and I give a and I wait to see if the others have a reaction to that. And then I continue to say, "This is not what it appears to be. I would know whose handiwork this is, but this is just a charade. Charade."
Charade. Well, it actually would click in the back of your mind from your lore there that fake blood is actually generally more dangerous than real blood for gnolls, but you can't quite remember why. Would you like to delve a little deeper?
Go ahead. I was testing the emote thing on the side. Because I like what Perrin did with the shakes his head thing over there. I like emoting that. Alright, what were you telling me though? I'm sorry.
Well, before you go off telling them that it's a charade, you would note, because apparently you're somewhat knowledgeable of gnolls, since you would parlay with demons and whatnot, and their demon lord. The fake blood is generally a worse sign than real blood.
Why?
Do
would
you?
that- would I know?
Because, well, sure. Real blood is indicative of gnolls that have eaten. Fake blood is indicative of gnolls that are trying to beseech their god to send fresh flesh their way. This is more or less a praying altar for hungry gnolls.
Okay, then as I taste the blood, I go, this is not good. The gnolls are hungry, and they're out for blood.
There's your answer, fat man. We're in dangerous country. No stopping anytime soon.
Do you actually yell booyah?
No,
Meanwhile,
just excited the emotion works.
Relay's checking out the trees over here, and he notices that there's oranges in the trees.
Okay. What do you want to do with the oranges in the trees?
Well, he's going to grab one, pull it down.
All right. That'll be an obstacle 0. Can you reach it? All right, you grab it. Okay.
He'll do his shield throw, Captain America shield throw thing.
There is like a cliff drop down of some distance, so you could easily reach over and pick from the top of the tree.
Oh, we're
okay,
like on
so
our
this is we're on the top. Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, this is
this is like a peninsula. Yeah, this is the descending path from the mountain.
Okay, well he'll grab a few of them, and then he'll turn around and he'll peg the fat man right in the side of the head with one of them.
Oh, what was that for?
I shove the fat man.
Food, eat.
He takes the orange, picks it up off the ground, and he begins eating it. And he's like, "Why are you shoving me? You're like a schoolyard boy."
I shove him harder so he almost trips and he kind of stumbles faster forward. Hurry up, you're first, fat boy.
Gentlemen, we all need to work together if we're going to make it off this mountainside alive.
That's true, and he'll be useful as bait. He's not much use elsewise.
Yeah, and Relay's gonna come over and hand Perrin and Azar some of the oranges.
Thank you, sir.
I stab the orange and take it, and just like nod.
All right. How exactly would you guys like to proceed? And when I say that, I mean in the manner.
I will volunteer to walk out front. And
All right.
wait, do I have a shield?
You have a two-handed sword.
Shield enough.
You have a great sword and a one-handed sword and chainmail.
Okay.
So
I will.
You wield the one-handed sword, and you could pick up a shield at some point if you wanted to, but currently you don't have one.
Well, I will wield the
just have what
two-handed
was sheathed
sword.
on you.
I would imagine that'll do more damage then.
Yep.
When
I ask how you're going to proceed, I'm saying, like, are you going to attempt to move quietly? Are you going to just move as is? Are you going to be loud and belligerent and arguing about the fat man as you move? How do you guys prepare to go through? And obviously going to RP to discuss this.
Yeah. Gentlemen, we are in dangerous country, but I think we need to keep moving through the night. We don't want to camp where there's hungry gnolls about.
we should be quieter, but lead on, fearless leader. You seem to want to die, even though we have perfectly good bait right here. And as with every word, I poke the fat man with my knife.
Ow, stop that.
Get going.
Does the fat
And not
man,
like lethal.
is he like a butcher? Does he have a cleaver or anything?
No, he has a tankard.
Tankard?
He
Is
could
it
use
full?
it as a bludgeon.
I'll hand him my one-handed sword and ask him, good fat man.
Good fat man. He puts up his hand. He says, "Please, call me Carl."
Rename him Fat Man Carl.
Good fat man Carl.
No, his name is Carl Fatman.
Carl Fatman.
It's pronounced Fatman.
Footman.
Have you ever used a sword before?
The largest blade I have wielded is a bread knife at this point, but I get the idea. You poke them with this end, and he kind of waves the sword around.
I poke him lightly and is like, "Yeah, you've got it."
This is a family heirloom. Take good care of it, or else. But we will need all hands on deck before this night is over.
He judges this way down. He's like, this is a bit more of a jump than I am that I'm used to doing. This is a bit of a ledge, probably about a 5-foot hop down to this rock, and then you can hop onto this rock and make your way down. It's going to be some sort of athletics check to see if you are adept at leaping down. Now, it's only going to be an athletics check 1, which should tell you how unathletic the fat man is.
I will, good Carl, fat man. I will aid you getting down there. However, hand me the sword before we go down. I think I should probably put that in my scabbard before you attempt to go jump down on these rocks.
I look at Parrot and give a thumbs up and like an affirmative nod. Like, good choice.
Relay's just going to jump down.
All right, just do you have athletics, Relay?
Absolutely.
It's an obstacle 1 athletics, so pretty easy. Roll.
All 4 of them passed.
Oh my god!
All 6s.
Okay.
You do a backflip.
Oh my god!
6s?
You're a hacker.
That is a critical athletics roll.
Look, you know that's scene where Dave Chappelle is playing Prince and he's in a basketball game and he goes up and he does a slam dunk. He takes one hand down, he takes the other hand down, and then he slowly levitates. That's basically how Relay jumps down, like he has feather fall on or something.
Can I explode that?
Yeah, if you want. You succeeded with like a major bonus. I can't possibly imagine what a major bonus is for jumping down, though.
Can I get a crux for that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's like.
Yeah, give him a crux. You can have a crux. That's perfect.
Okay.
That'd be like the equivalent of getting an awesome bonus in Fate. That's.
I'll pass you a crux because the gods smile on you, and for some reason it's like maybe one of the Fey gods are like, "Yeah, here you go," and takes you by the hand and lowers you.
Yep. So as Relay
right
bounds down this little chasm here, and I guess these are just like rocks in the way or something. Is that what they are? Voth?
Do I know? I'm sorry, I was reading. Oh, okay, so many typings going on.
I was trying to see what they were like.
The rocks? Just large residual boulders.
And they're just kind of heading down the chasm. Okay. So
yeah,
I would think
they're sloped down. It basically
okay.
Like here's the precipice you guys are on, and then there's just piles of rocks going down that you guys can use as a ramp.
Yep. So they'll notice I think Perrin and Azure would both notice how agile Relay is for a cleric.
Yeah, as he moonwalks off of the rocks.
Moonwalks off the rocks.
That's right.
My eyebrow would raise a little bit at his agility and kind of mentally note that for later.
Yeah, he's just like, he's kind of humming a song. He's going, doon, doon.
All right.
Doon,
the fat man
can I
reaches
do like an
out.
assist?
Yes. What you're going to do, and as your minor bonus, I'll just give you an extra D6 on this. You're going to have to make an obstacle 2 physique check to help Carl Fatman down.
He's so heavy, it's an obstacle 2.
Yes, but you get a bonus dice.
I didn't roll a bonus.
So just roll 1d6 and see if it succeeds.
Okay.
And that's
so they would
because you
just
succeeded with a minor bonus.
yeah.
You just use 1d6 from the dice
There we
tray.
go.
Crap.
Crap. All right.
You craft him a little staircase to go down.
An escalator. You help him down. You successfully get him down. The rest of the rocks slope down enough that it's not going to be a major issue for you. It's just the first hop down. It's like, oh, thank you, good paladin. You're a gentleman and a scholar. And then he climbs down the rest of the way. All right, Azar.
Down.
Oh, not without a roll.
Yeah. Do I roll 1d6?
Obstacle 1, athletics. Yeah, you have 1 athletics, Ben?
Yeah.
All right, you succeed. Praise the sweet baby Jesus. You don't tumble.
You were hoping someone.
Relay's going to notice some more orange trees.
I was hoping you guys would make some raucous noise.
No, we're being
Now-
extremely cautious.
All right.
All right, fearless leader. Which way should we go from here? I look to Perrin inquisitively.
Left or right? Do we notice any knoll tracks or tracks of any kind?
Oh, good one.
Oh, that's a good call. If you're looking for knoll tracks, you will indeed see knoll tracks going off this way, which accentuate the fact that they also go off this way.
Like there's knoll tracks going both ways.
Yeah, this is apparently a knoll thoroughfare, which would make sense if they come here to sacrifice. They come by here often.
Okay.
I'm
So
keeping
kind
an
of
eye out.
rough woodsmanship when we were coming down the mountain. Did it like slope? Were we on the side of the mountain, like to the right would take us, feel like it'd go back up higher, left would go back lower?
Everything is a down gradient this direction.
Okay.
So this leads down, this leads down, this leads up, this leads up.
Gotcha.
So
let's-
heading towards the bottom of the map in any way is it upward gradients.
Yeah.
Is this east?
In any way is it downward gradients. Sure.
Well, gentlemen, I don't have an idea which way would be better, but I have a good feeling about this way. If anybody feels differently, they're welcome to voice their opinion.
It seems like either way we're gonna have to deal with these furry fucks. So I guess we should stick together. And I walk alongside.
Oh, wait for me. Wait for me.
Carl Fatman, I suggest you walk in the middle and be as quiet as possible.
It sounds like a plan.
Remember, I'm going to help you, but only as much as you help yourself.
I stop and wait. for
Understood.
Relay to
That is,
pass so I can be next to him.
Relay's going to glance back up at the area where they had left from and see if he can see any sight of the half-orc.
It's pretty dark now at this point. Seeing a half-orc would be a struggle unless he had a torch, and you see no torches.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm guessing, is it like a clear sky that we're kind of going by, like the moonlight and stuff?
It would be really useful if it was a clear sky, but it's fairly overcast. The mountains are a hazy, foggy mess, and it sort
windy?
of trails out over the. Nope, it's not windy, and that trails out over the forest, and you're under a forest canopy now, so it's really hard to make out anything, and that's why you're moving by torchlight. I'm assuming you guys are moving by torchlight. I didn't say that you lit torches, but you have light.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to, otherwise we won't be able to see anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you
Since
want to
not-
go with no light, I could put you at like a 1 foot low light circle And then you guys will be just bumbling around, worse than you are now.
It's either we bumble and trip and break a leg, or we have light and it's easier to see us. It's half of one, 6 dozen of the other. Wait, that's not what I'm saying. Half a dozen, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Still early. Still early.
That is a saying I am not familiar with.
No?
Mm-mm. Must be a northerner, Minnesotan saying.
I am
Oh,
also
yeah.
like a 65-year-old in a 32-year-old skin, so.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, and I give Carl Fatman the sword back.
Pause for a
Tell him
moment.
to
Okay, he
be
has
careful.
a sword. You see this black line?
Mm-hmm.
Indicative of a zone marker. When you get to these, it basically means you're passing into a new zone, and there will be some sort of obstacle tied with moving further.
Okay.
But it's not directly, like I don't have anything directly tied to it. It's just a zone marker.
Gotcha. Gentlemen, there seems to be a way through the trees that leads us down the mountain this way if you'd like to follow.
Our cleric
course.
has seemed to have picked up the orange picking skill. He really likes picking the oranges.
Hey, he's a survivalist, man.
He's got a bug out bag.
He's got his bug out bag and he's loading it up. You guys are like, heading towards danger, and he's just kind of like getting prepared.
I'm keeping an eye on him.
All right, let's
he's the night side at all times.
Let's pause for a moment, and I will prompt you guys until you get more fluent in the system. If any, I'm pretty sure all of you have an open motive. Would anybody like to create one based off the situation that you're in?
Are gnolls in this world like inherently evil?
We're basically taking the D&D gnolls. The way D&D gnolls were formed is when the demon lord Inogu somehow made his way to the mortal plane, and he went on a slaughter frenzy across the lands. Packs of gnolls would gather in his wake and scavenge his kills, and
They're
eating
the hyenas of the
demonic.
world.
Yeah, eating dead hyenas. Scavenging the dead of a demon caused them to be infused with evil, and they grew into humanoid things that worship Inogu obsessively, and they're bestial and impossible to negotiate with. They want to kill. They're bad. They are the quintessential evil, bad things.
I'll make a motive of, since I'm goody two shoes, of destroying any gnolls we come upon to save. I mean, we don't know where in the world we are, but to help protect any innocents in the area.
All right, go ahead and write something in along those lines.
Our gnolls
your third
shamanistic,
motive should be open
like
still.
they have a head shaman witch doctor dude that they all respect or whatever.
They have an alpha lord of some sort. Like there'll be a pack, and then the pack alpha.
Well, is he
And
like a warrior alpha, or is he like a shaman alpha?
It could be either way. But before we go further, hyenas are the reverse of typical mammals. The alphas are all female, and the female sex of hyenas actually have more testosterone than males. So when they mate, it's rape the males. It's weird. So it's sort of like an inverted hierarchy to what you're used to. So you'd say she is the alpha. What is she? This or that.
Yeah, I want to make a motive of using the group to traverse the forest.
All right. You want to use the group to protect you on your way through the forest. Why?
Not really protect me, just to traverse through it.
Okay.
I think I'm able to protect myself, just like he did getting off the top of the mountain.
I understand.
Okay, why?
The kernel of your motivation? Do you feel like because you think they can help you, because you feel you could trust them, because
No,
you feel like you can't make it on your own? You know, what's
just
your motivation for using them?
survival.
All right. Then go ahead and write something in your motive along those lines.
Okay, use the group
And
to
as
survive
are
the
Malkav.
forest. Survive. What would you
I would like to scry our location through sacrifice or conjuration or something. I'd like to figure out where we're at. Maybe on my map that I have, it would show us.
Okay. If you want to
So-
figure out where we're at,
No. I want to use the same thing I was saying, but to find the location of the nearest skull of Balthasar.
okay. Let's see. So that's your current motivation? I'm trying to think of how we could go about that.
I have in my possession a grimoire of the old ones, and it says a book on the lore of the ancient ones, keepsake and study guide for unlocking other spells.
Perhaps. All right. So you want to basically use your map in conjunction with your book to see if you can identify the location of a skull of Balthazar?
Not necessarily on my map. It's like X marks the spot, but a direction,
I got you.
an idea.
All right. Go ahead and distill that into a short sentence instead of a paragraph and make that your motive.
Conjure a heading.
Sure. See if you can conjure a heading, and then why, so that you can find a skull of Balthazar.
Question. Looking around here in this area, does it look at all familiar to Relay at all? He's, widely traveled. Does it look anything familiar at all?
Let me think. It would probably be a lore test of at least an obstacle 3 for you to discern something special about these trees.
Okay. Did our potential reset, or is it still at what it was at, right?
It is at what it is at.
Okay. And Crux functions like how does that work again? Pertaining to checks?
When you make a roll,
Mm-hmm.
you could use Crux to explode 6s or re-roll a 2 or a 3. Now,
Okay.
6s are more powerful because they can continue to explode, and if you roll 2 6s, 1 Crux explodes all the 6s. So 6s sort of carry the connotation of a critical success.
Right.
2s and 3s are your failures, and they require 1 Crux per 2 or 3 to re-roll it.
Okay. So if I'm going to, because my lore is actually is practiced, so to even be able to succeed at that, I'm going to have to use some potential then.
Well, let's see. Practiced is 2, and I said the obstacle's 3. Well, if you rolled 2 6s and then you exploded them and then you got up, you could potentially get there off 2 dice. But that's like gambling on the worst football team and saying, I think they'll win. Is there a chance? Sure, but it's not a smart gamble.
He's going to drop 2 potential on it.
Okay.
To put that up to a, 4d6.
46.
So let me roll it then. Oh, wow.
Can we assist each other?
All right. You could succeed at a cost.
Well, I want to use a Crux to re-roll that 1.
No, 1s are dead ducks.
Oh, that's right. It has to be a 2 or 3.
You could re-roll one of the 3s. 1s carry the connotation of critical failure. You cannot re-roll them.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to drop 2 Crux on it to re-roll.
I did make a reroll macro just for you, MJ. It's next to the explode macro.
Is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I got it. Let me re-roll it. First one. Actually, I'll try to re-roll the first one, and then if the other one doesn't work, then I won't use the crux for it, because if I don't pass it, it's worthless. Oh, man. Look at that. Failures. I rolled all those sixes at first. So, yeah.
You lost the crux. Do you want to try again?
No, sir.
It's like Voth and I from that last game.
Yeah.
We go critical fail, critical fail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even better, the weird World War II game where you guys fail, critically survive by the skin of your teeth.
How about I'll succeed at a cost?
All right. The cost is you're going to at least know that you're not going to know an exact location, but you're going to know that you've had these oranges before, so you're at least in the distance that the region that produces these oranges could potentially sell them to a merchant, and they could potentially meet Wayberry before they were rotten. Now, that doesn't really narrow it down, except you're within a merchant's travel path. And you don't even know how many merchants it went through. How long is an orange stay ripe without going bad? Blah, 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 blah. Also, what's going to strike you is an orange tree of this nature you recognize as being relatively close to civilization. And for gnolls to be here, gnolls exist on the distant fringes. In a properly maintained kingdom, there wouldn't be gnolls running through your orchard. So this is indicative of someone perhaps losing their grasp on the land, so to speak.
Right.
Would this orchard be on my map?
Potentially, but right now there's orchards. It's like, where do apple trees grow? I mean, if you look at the map of the United States and you get an overlay, it's like they could be from like 20 states. It's not really going to narrow it down in that regard.
Do the trees seem like they're in an orderly fashion, like a organized orchard, or they're just orange trees out on a mountainside?
They're not in an orderly fashion. There might be, someone drops an orange seed, it's going to grow into an orange tree.
Yeah, it's not like a clearly defined orchard. It's just orange trees.
Right. No, it's very much a forest that has orange trees in it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now you're at this sort of obviously a meta analysis. Would you like, before you pass the line, would you like to somehow, I guess it's a meta cue that you should do something. Perhaps try to notice something, perhaps anything that you can come up with.
Do we hear
Perhaps
any
try to
grunting?
All right.
Yeah, I would.
Malkav.
I mean, stealth would be a little tough with torchlight.
Plus, if we're down one, they can smell us.
Well, it's not very windy, thank goodness.
All right.
But Azar, you ask if you hear something grunting, and unfortunately you do.
I do. Does it sound like multiple grunts, like more than one location, or is it just one?
It's hard to decipher. It is echoing through trees, but you're pretty sure you heard a grunt. I mean, it could be a pig. It could be anything.
I want to stealthily move forward and check around these trees. And
all right.
And give another listen.
This is going to be a stealth 1.
Oh.
Obstacle 1.
D6.
Hold on a second. as are your stealth. Do you not have stealth? You
I
don't have
probably
stealth.
not. No. I rolled a d6.
Remember to look at your skills. And remember, you can put potential into it. You're allowed to try to succeed at things.
I would if I hadn't already rolled. I forgot about potential.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm giving you an opportunity to retroactively roll some potential.
Okay, then I will roll. I'm at 8 right now. I want to hold on to some. I'll just roll one more. So one more d6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You succeed. Now go ahead and reduce one of your what you call it, potentials.
All right. Down to 7.
All right. Now, as you go to evaluate the trees, you're able to move silently. You come up. You see a cliff overhang here. It's a pretty distant drop.
Does it look like we could go down it?
This is pretty far. It's probably going to require some ropes to get down this cliffside.
I hang out here and I turn around and look back to our group, and I kind of motion them forward, slow, but with my hands being cautiously, slowly.
You're motioning us forward.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Okay.
Now that you've gotten out here and you have a better LOS, so to speak, you actually realize that the grunt is relatively close and it came from this direction. Hopefully they can't see you yet with your torch, but if you guys don't do something, it will be on you, so to speak.
Yes, sir. Get away from them.
You feel exposed here.
I creep back over behind Perrin, and I keep going to the fat man, and I push him forward. But I don't stab him. I just kind of nudge him so he doesn't grunt or moan or bitch.
Do you tell any of us about the grunting? Just let us walk into it.
Oh, I thought for some reason y'all knew. Yes, when I start creeping forward earlier, I say, I thought I heard something. This doesn't sound too safe up ahead.
All right. As he explains and points in the direction, just in time, Perrin, you'll have plenty of time to react, but you do see coming into the edge of your light, there's no way he can't see. You guys are holding torches. It takes him about a half second to recognize that you're here. He says something in Infernal. He raises his weapon and he's going to be charging. What would you like to do?
I'll charge at him.
Push the fat man in, though.
And say, Carl Fatman, stay behind me. But don't stab me in the back, damn it.
I move with the fat man. I actually keep my hand on his shoulder, kind of like using him as a human shield.
Swear to God, if Carl Fatman stabs
charge
me
him
in the
and
back
attack?
with my own sword.
Are you going to charge and attack him, Matt?
Yes.
What is your intent?
To kill him as fast as possible so he doesn't alert others.
Okay. Killing him as fast as possible would be killing him in one fell strike. Fell strike, not fail. You don't want to fail.
Yeah, no failing.
Now, real quick, if you look at your gear and stuff, just a recap in case you have forgotten, if you're using your greatsword, you get plus 1d6, so it's like a free potential when you're attacking. Now, also, with Divine Smite, you can gain 2d6 to a melee attack pool at the cost of one of your daily spells. So you can attack pretty hardcore if you want to. You get 3 free d6 on top of your fight skill.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna.
Wow.
I mean, I can't imagine he's wearing great armor, and he's probably about our size, maybe a little smaller.
They're big, they are imposing, and to kill this, it's running towards you in one strike. It's an obstacle 4.
Okay, I will.
Now, you can do things to buy down the obstacle if you'd wish, or you can put a lot of potential into it and try to meet it. It's up to you.
I will use the Divine Smite. So I've got my sword, so it'll be rolling essentially 7. And I'll put 1
7d6
potential in
right
there
now.
too.
There you go. Perrin is obviously the beast. Bam. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
You cleave him in twain. He falls at your feet. And you're going to get a minor bonus from this. Now, the minor bonus is you have a boost of confidence, okay? And see, and in fact, your boost has sort of more or less made everybody more confident in this situation. Ah, fuck me. Paste is what I meant to do. And here's MJ's nice little boost.
Yeah.
Boost of confidence. Did I spell that right? No, confidence. There we go. All right. This is a boost of confidence that you've received. Basically, that's going to be 1 floating d6 that you can throw onto any roll, and anybody who observed your heroic slicing in twain of this creature can also use that boost of confidence. Once it's consumed, it's gone.
Does that include the fat man?
The fat man could also use the boost of confidence if you want him to, but I'm not actually going to be rolling for him. It's just going to be narrative interaction.
Okay.
Probably going to be comical.
Would I be able to use this snow in a sacrifice? Like if I cut out his heart?
1 second. Do you think there's... Well, yeah. You can do blood sacrifice stuff.
You said they were like transformed by dark magic or something, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then I kneel over its corpse, and I'm muttering things to myself, and I plunge my dagger into his chest. Unless his heart's already exposed from Perrin's cleave.
I would say that you could probably find his heart pretty easily because he did literally, I imagine, like a diagonal cut, just rending the guy in half.
All right, I reach inside and I just pull out his heart, and I use my knife to sever any arteries.
Like he's cut in half like that, just sliced.
Yeah. I just tuck my hand up in there and I pull the heart out, sever it.
All right.
Azar, what are you
haven't
doing?
It's black and twisted and disgusting looking. It's a heart of evil.
I hold it in both hands and I put it in the sky, and I'm saying things in demonic. And I squeeze the heart and blood drips into my mouth, and I start like having a vision.
Jesus.
All right, I'm going to call this an insight check. You're trying to look in the insight of demons and shit like that. You're trying to get a vision. Are you just trying to get whatever vision you get, or are you trying to get a specific vision?
The location of the nearest skull, because they're both evil magics. An evil thing wants this. I feel like they're tied together somehow, and this might be like a fucking compass that points towards skulls.
So basically, this would be like you trying to beseech Yinogu, since it is, his tainted blood that you're getting, and convince Chaos Super Demon Lord, who wants to destroy everything, to tell you where the skull is?
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be improbable, which is an obstacle 7.
I want to use the boost of confidence. Just
Would you like to do anything to...
Yeah. How can I buy it down? With Crux?
Well, first off, you could take a doom to buy it down as many slots as you want to, a doom per slot. And next, I would also say that you could take a consequence, probably a pretty hefty one, for consuming tainted and twisted blood. You could... I can't really imagine a way that sacrificing your packed blades would help you here, unless you also stabbed yourself. I don't know.
Could. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Well, was the heart kind of like a catalyst in the sacrifice, kind of?
Absolutely. It's giving you a gateway so that you can even contact Inogu, since you have no basis for that. The heart is your Inogu pager.
Could I wound
Yes,
myself?
absolutely. You could. Yes.
If I were to like cut my hand and let the bloods mix, what would that do? And I mean like a deep cut, not just like a little scratch.
For a cut on the hand
Or the arm.
Pretty severe cut down your forearm. It's going to have to be a severe wound, which is a 3. So it's going to be flayed forearm so that you can mix your blood out. And I would let you buy it down to formidable, obstacle 5.
And could I also buy it down more if it terrifies the fat man?
No.
No? Okay.
No, because that's no matter what. He's going to be fucking freaked out by this. And as is probably the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Well, and Relay's going to kind of move forward while he's doing all this stuff, and he's going to use his shield, and he's going to kind of block Azure aside away from the knoll as he's feeling divine powers surge through his body to kind of interrupt Azure in his whole process as he's having this moment of the gods using him as a conduit again. And then he's going to reach out his hand and he's going to touch down at the knoll.
All right. Azar, you're going to allow yourself to be pushed aside before you flay your arm open?
Yeah, like as I'm about to do it, I kind of get pulled out of my focus and I look at Rayleigh with confusion as I kind of slump back into like a sitting on my knees, looking at him and the knoll pose.
Oh crap moment.
Wipe the blood away from your mouth.
Yeah. I kind of drop.
All right, then.
I'm still holding the heart, though, and a dagger in my other hand.
Relay's going to turn.
Perrin, real quick before Relay does this. Relay's in the zone. You're focused.
Yep.
Azar Malkev is looking on. You're somewhat focused. Perrin, I would assume that you turn your head away in disgust, like, really?
Absolutely.
And as you do that, you catch sight of glowing eyes. Eyes returning light, like the eyes of yet another knoll.
Oh, jeez.
Whereabouts?
And outs would be abouts here. I'll face you in that direction. There you go. You see eyes reflecting over there.
I'll look at Azar and say, Savage, there's no time for that. There's more gnolls about.
I give him a grim grin and wipe the blood from my chin.
All right, so you're snapped out of the zone. You're recognizing that some shit's going down. Now back to Relay. Relay, you're in the zone. You're approaching this knoll, and you're placing your hand on his head, on the northern half of his body that lays, adjacent to the southern hemisphere. In a pool of stench. The stench of blood is horrendous here. The iron smell. You kneel down in this slop and place your hand on his head. Correct.
Right.
What are you trying to achieve?
He's going to cast Revivify.
And you tell me what that does.
You touch the creature that has died within the last minute. That creature returns to life with 1 hit point.
Jesus.
You raised
Out
an
his
army of
heart?
the dead?
I just drank his heart.
He's also in 2 pieces.
He's gonna. This is terrible. This is way worse than what I was doing to him.
Yeah.
He's just gonna wake up and scream and die again.
All right. Revivify.
He's
He's
looking for a moment to. I think I'm picturing it here that he's Relay's having a moment where the gods are giving him this power to bring this creature back to life again, and knows it's going to die again, but to give a chance to communicate with it.
All right, click off one of your charged spells.
Okay.
And I'll count this as a charged for this encounter. And it's just going to happen. Somebody is curious. Now, we're going to see how that goes. The Knoll's eyes pop open. It is apparently not aware of its severed state. It's just kind of laying there groggy, half asleep looking, and its eyes look up to you. And it gives a snarl. What are you trying to achieve?
Relay's gonna speak in the language of the Knoll.
You know Infernal?
Well, no, he doesn't.
I believe they speak in Infernal.
He doesn't know Infernal.
Okay. So this is gonna be part of your Revivify thing,
right? He's gonna speak in an Infernal.
Okay. What are you gonna ask him?
He's gonna ask him, "Where's the skull?" But nobody else will understand that he's asking that.
He looks up at you and he says, "Inside your head skin."
And then he'll focus his question a little bit more, asking, where the Lich skull is, kind of describing the description of the Lich skull.
Do you know what the Lich skull looks like?
No.
Okay, well, how do you describe it to him?
Just kind of the way that the Lich had described it to us.
A powerful skull with demons trapped inside of it?
Exactly.
He says, "That's inside my head skin," and laughs.
Okay, Relay will just smash him over the head with his skull, with his mace.
Well, he's got demons in his head. He's a slave of Yinogu.
Yep.
The Revivify ends. He goes limp, and his brain is now oozing out. And
that obviously was from
eyes,
an evil god, or a necromantic, a necro.
Perrin is not thrilled with this development.
Yeah.
Gives Relay some very dirty looks.
Yeah,
Azar approves.
But then you'll see
Azar approves.
The Relay will. You'll see him all of a sudden kind of get shaken out of it, and then see what he's done before him, and kind of take a step back and bump into Perrin as he's looking at the sight of what just happened before him. Yeah. And he did, you kind of see that he didn't realize what just had happened to him. It's like another, epileptic moment where he was caught up as the conduit and didn't know what happened to him.
Fat Man has nothing to say to you, creepy people. The eyes that you see, Perrin, they look at you. You can tell that they cut over towards the dead corpse and the weird thing that happened between it and Relay and smashes the head. And then the eyes are going to cut back in a direction so you can no longer see the eyes reflecting. What would you like to do?
I will kind of mutter to the party, "Fools," and I'll run after it.
Alrighty. Keep coming around the corner.
This probably isn't going
You
to be good.
see
I shove the Fat Man with me the whole way.
eating. You see the Knoll retreating around the corner. He's running away from you guys. For what reason, one can only imagine. What would you like to do?
If I can catch up to him, I would like to hack him in the back.
Well, that's not going to be easy to catch him. Gnolls are agile creatures. They have long, reverse-jointed legs that allow them to bound quite easily. It's going to be an obstacle 3 athletics check for you to catch up with him.
Okie dokie. I'm going to add a potential.
Ooh, 2.
All right. You can succeed at a cost and record an XP for athletics if you would like.
Yes. I think I would
Oh,
like.
MJ, did you remember to record an XP for your learning experience earlier?
I didn't. What was that under lore?
Lore, correct.
Okay, got it.
I had an XP on something last time, but it's not showing up now. I'll figure it out.
Well, there is a video.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Insight, meta context, physique, lore, will,
think it was
athletics,
will.
fight. Will? Do you remember what the situation was where you're
No,
being willful?
I'll have to go and look at it again. I'll figure it out.
Did anybody else lose their XP?
Nope.
I don't think I
Jacob,
got
you
one.
have none recorded.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
I didn't get any last session.
Geez, I don't see any recorded for you either, MJ. This is weird.
I do have one up there on lore, though. I got 2.
It's not
There's one.
updating for me.
Why? Because the boxes are all gray.
No, because that's just a setting in the Mac and the HTML programming.
Yeah. That's really weird because I'm not seeing it at all.
I wonder if you're having updating problems again, because remember before that you'd had that happened.
Jeez, yeah, man. When I close the sheet and come back, it's gone. I've done something wrong in the programming of it. I'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, it was just 1 XP and something.
Well,
but
what happens? It should. Oh, you probably didn't make a proper.
I didn't change the variable, I think.
Yeah, because it's supposed to, when you put something in there, it's supposed to make up a attribute and ability, and then make that box over there. And mine's not showing up either.
For now, put the XP just next to it, next to the word. Like I have lore 1 for you.
Oh yeah.
Type in there now.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I think it was noticing the clouds. I'll go back and look.
Oh, that's correct. I think you're correct. So go ahead and put 1 next to notice. Just put notice 1. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, no.
I'll have to figure that out. I'm not a programmer by nature.
Yeah, you have to put in the name of it, and they all have to be separate. Like
Yeah, I have to come up with like 50,000 different names. Yeah, I get
it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 different names for each box in the line.
Times each level. That's like 8 times 8, 64.
Exactly.
Fun times.
Well, if I put a check on the daily spell since I use Divine Smite, can I, 4 daily spell boxes, can I use Divine Smite? Like, could I use the same spell 4 times, or does it have to be a different one for each 4?
You can use any of your spells, and every time you use a spell, you check off a box. That's how it works.
Gotcha. Cool.
Okay, so athletics, you wanted to succeed at a cost. Correct?
Yes.
God damn it, my wife's texting the shit out of me. You're going to catch him. Now, the cost is you're going to be extremely loud doing it in your armor. You just have chinking and clanking all over the place. And I'm assuming you would even let out a like a battle crying roar of "Get back here, you foul creature!" Whatever a paladin would say.
You can
come up with your battle cry. But at the very least, you are not going to be quiet about it. Now you're going to catch him, and you can, in fact, attack if you like. Now, It's going to be,
Yes.
once again, if you're trying to one-shot him, it's an obstacle 4. If you're trying to do other things, it'll be different.
Since I would now, after that last encounter of relay, I'm gonna think he's able to talk to these guys. So I'm gonna like try to take out its leg.
Okay.
Looks like there's
Just to simply,
a game.
you're going to try to.
He's in the shadows.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there. It looks like the map's not updating. Perrin's like in the shadows for some reason.
You might not have. Oh, you don't have LOS on him. LOS.
Oh, that's me. Okay.
There's a
That
tree
tree's
right
in the middle
here
there.
cutting
Gotcha.
vision.
Yep. Per me. Oh, I
So
see.
you don't have LOS on him, so you don't know what's happening. Trying
Right.
to chop off his leg so that he can no longer run. Correct.
Yeah.
This is going to be simply an obstacle to sever his leg.
In that case, I'm not gonna add any potential.
Ooh,
Oof.
got you there.
All right. You successfully sever his leg, and it makes him sad. He falls to the ground.
My leg.
He falls to the ground, and beneath him, he rolls over, and he is going to swing at you and try to basically also take your legs out, because he's like, well, fuck you, I'm not stupid. I recognize when I'm in a bad situation. And he swings violently towards your ankles with his large two-handed mace, and it's going to be an obstacle 2 for you to avoid having your ankles taken out.
What athletics?
Athletics, yeah.
Right. Oh, geez. I am going to have to use some cruxes here.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got 3 threes.
Yeah.
3 threes and a dead duck.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I'm going to start with 1 crux as a reroll.
Okay. So you can just throw it out on the table.
Those quitters.
Oh, you rolled a quitter. So that now you only have 2 threes to reroll, because one of your threes is now dead ducks. You have 2 dead ducks, 2 threes.
So now that now that I have 2 dead ducks, can I use the skill Divine Favor? You may reroll all dead ducks.
Absolutely. Recover a daily spell, or use a daily spell, and you can do it.
All right, and I go down to 1 crux. All right. So I'm just going to roll a skill that's 2d6.
That's fine.
Jesus.
Wow. She's 2 threes again.
Okay.
Well,
This
I'm
is
gonna
anything
have to use
you'd like to
another.
do?
I'm gonna have to use another crux because I have to at least get this to be a minor consequence.
Yep.
All right, gonna
I
Roll
assist
one of
him?
those threes.
roll 1 more. Just a random 1d6 skill. What the fuck?
Wow. Oh, man.
Well, looks like I'm riding the
this-
fat man down the mountain because I have no ankles.
Yes.
Can I assist him?
All right. Well, at this point, he took off running brashly without you. As you're chasing the creature, you overcommit to the slash. You're just like, he can't get away. You're committed to it, and you sever the shit out of his leg, and there's like so much straight through that as he falls, it's his other leg, uses it to swiftly pivot around, and he brings it around and sweeps your.
I don't suppose I can
You
give up a bunch
slam-
of potential to help this. Probably too late for that.
You lose Voth?
Hey,
It's cutting out.
Yeah. He's still in the Hangout. We just can't hear you, Voth. If you can hear us.
can you hear me yet?
Now
Yeah,
we
there you
can.
go.
There you are.
All right. And yes, I can. So, anyways, after
Ouch, my ankles.
leg, and there's a thing from your where you as he falls to the ground, manages to plant his one good leg and forcefully rotate himself swiftly and sweep your legs out from under you. Your feet literally go up like you stepped on a banana peel, and you come down on and you hit your head on the ground, and you're going to take a head I would say you've heard.
Well, you might want to try
If you can come up
reloading
with
the
something that's
Hangout.
more me?
Yeah.
Is it still cutting out?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
Well, that was a giant pile of shit rolls.
Yes, that was.
That was insane. That was an insane amount of unlucky.
Man, I blew 2 Cruxes and a daily and got no bonus, nothing out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, those rolls.
Not on your side.
I don't know. Joe's thing is still cutting out.
Yeah. Here I got an image for Aaron.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, misery.
What the fuck is that?
Stephen King movie, Misery.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates breaking James Caan's leg.
Yep. What was I
This
can't remember what that
soul
movie
be
was
named
called.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah. That was like her first big movie.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Misery. Was it Misery?
Yeah, Misery.
Misery. Yep.
That's a good one.
He was a writer, and she was like this obsessed fan.
Yeah.
And he wrote and killed her favorite character in the book, so she kidnapped him to make him rewrite the book.
No, he gets in a car accident. She finds him.
Oh, that's right.
Nurses him back to health, and then when he's getting ready to leave, she's so obsessed with him that she breaks his leg, so he has to stay there, and she can keep taking care of him.
Well, no, but she was forcing him to rewrite the book to keep her character in. Yeah. Oh wow,
that's hilarious.
I am.
So that's what happens to Perrin.
Ouch. So what?
Am I sounding better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again into the explanation. You overcommit to the severing of his leg, which you have tons of backswing in your large two-handed sword, which puts you in a very position. And as he goes careening to the ground, he uses his one good leg as a pivot point to spin around and attempt to take out your legs. Well, he hits you like in the back of the ankles, at the same time, since you're overcommitted in the other direction. And your feet go right out from under you, and you plummet down to the ground, and your head slams into the ground and bounces up off the ground, and it gives you a moderate consequence of, I guess would be the way I put it.
Dizzy? Is that what you said?
Not dizzy, because it head trauma. It's like borderline concussion.
Oh, right. Head trauma.
You hit pretty hard.
Moderate to... God,
Moderate.
that was
So that's going to reduce your recovery is reduced to a 3 now, which means it's going to be harder for you to regain your potential until you've healed your head trauma.
Oof.
I can take care
You're
of that.
laying there on the ground. So now, all right. Azar, you have the closest LOS. You just watched Perrin charge into this guy, sever his leg, and then get tripped down onto his back. And it was not without its comedy, but also somewhat worrisome because he was incredibly loud about it. And you're in a forest full of hungry gnolls, presumably. What would you like to do?
Feed him the fat man.
Yeah, the whole time I was moving up, I was pushing the fat man in front of me like a human shield. And when I see all that stuff happen, I shove the fat man forward to trip over Perrin and land on top of the gnoll. And then when the gnoll is pinned, even if he died from the weight of Carl Fatman.
All right, well, hold on. The Fatman is not going to let him be pushed onto a live gnoll. He begins fighting back against you here. He's like, no, stop it. Are you going to force him to do what you want him to do?
Yes, I'm going to force him to do it by casting fear on him.
Record a charge spell. Click off one of your charge spells because this is your per encounter spells. Fear, you cast through deceive, correct? As you beseech your god and convince him of whatever. Carl Fatman has by no means proven himself to be a brave man at this point, so it's only going to be an obstacle 1 to successfully cast fear on him.
Well, then I waste no potential, and I roll my deceive.
All right, you succeed with a minor bonus, so not only is he horrified, he takes off running quite far, but he drops his torch.
My sword, no!
No, you got it back.
I'm on the ground with a head injury. I'm not paying attention to any of this.
Does the fat man step on the gnoll or anything?
Where the fat man?
Yeah, he steps on the gnoll and like accidentally kicks him as he runs by. A fat man falling on a gnoll is not going to kill him. Even maybe if you dropped him out of an airplane, but in this situation, that's not going to end him. However, the fat man did go tearing off past him, which, to your benefit, you hear a much larger grunting than the previous ones. And the fat man continues to scream, and it appears that something is giving chase to him.
Just as I thought. She's around. I say it to everybody who would listen.
Everybody, she's around.
She's round. Relay's just backing away from the gnoll that he smashed his head as he's kind of returning back to his own shell and kind of looking at what he's done. He's just kind of freaked out for a second.
I turn to him and say, "Don't back off the cliff."
Don't take the plunge.
All right.
Can I help Perrin up?
Oh yeah, there's no role for helping Perrin up. The gnoll is not dead though. He still has his weapon, and he's trying to bring himself up using the weapon like a crutch, so he can get up on one leg. And it looks like he's probably going to try to attack the downed and disoriented Perrin.
Can I lift him up and pull him back towards me?
You want to lift up the gnoll? Is that what you said?
Perrin. I want to grab him under his arms and pull him back towards Rayleigh.
Sure. Perrin is a large man. You watched him cleave a gnoll in twain, so he's going to be a strapping man. And he's covered in plate mail or chainmail. I'm sorry. This is easily going to be an obstacle 3 physique check to drag his big ass back around there.
Can I convince you to let me roll fight? Because I'm going to be fighting so fucking hard to get him over there in his heavy ass armor.
I said obstacle 3.
Yeah.
For using inapplicable skills that you're arguing to me, I always raise the obstacle by 1. So it'd be obstacle 4 for you to fight him back around the corner.
Okay, the same thing, but with willpower. I'm using my willpower to just fucking overcome, like that mama
I like
strength.
that.
Okay.
I will give you willpower, but here's the thing. I will give you willpower at an obstacle 3, but you're going to have to give me some sort of role play. Why would you feel the willpower of mama strength to drag Perrin back around the corner? Have you developed a connection to him, a friendship? Do you trust him? What is it that makes this possible for you?
It's something to do with his past. What he's running from, I'm a part of. And I'm also going to spend my potential.
That.
Remember, he said his family is evil and does evil shit. And he's evil. Trying to repent for that. And he recognized the symbol on my cloak.
Exactly. Go into your notes, Azar. Don't say it out loud, just till we can work our way through it. But I'm going to write something. All right. Do you see the note?
Okay, yeah, it updated.
What do you think about it?
I like that. Yeah. I was thinking about that from that update.
The fuck fathering? Dude, were we writing at the same time?
Probably.
Oh my god.
There.
Okay. We'll see. We'll work with that. For some reason, guys, which is you wouldn't necessarily know, Azar Malkav cares a lot about Perrin, and you're going to use willpower to drag his ass back around.
I'm also spending 1 effort or whatever. What's that called?
Effort.
Potential.
Effort. You're using potential.
Okay. How that is 1.
Where did the fat man run off to?
All right.
You said it was a 3, right?
He did.
Yeah. So you can succeed at a minor.
Okay.
Cost. All right. Are you going to succeed at a minor cost?
Yeah, I'll succeed at a minor cost to raise the XP on my will, which I'm just going to record in my notes as +1 will success.
That's fine. I actually just put a 1 next to your will skill, so wherever you want to record it is fine. All right. You're going to successfully pull him back around the corner.
The minor cost?
But
could I throw an idea out?
You back off the cliff. Okay, I like it.
No, fuck that. Drop one of my daggers.
You want to drop one of your daggers?
Yeah. Like, not purposely, but I have 2 of them.
All right. You have 2 of them, but you're going to have to tell me why this dagger is important to you and why you would be pissed that it was dropped.
Because they're a pair of hexed daggers that allow me to channel my spells more easily. And without both of them, there's a higher chance of me fumbling and backfiring. So it gives me like a minus roll on spells.
I'm not going to inflict that level of fuckery on you. but I would say that in order to charge or cast like higher level, more powerful stuff, you're going to need that second dagger. So this dagger is more or less going to put a sort of cap on your potential power, so to speak.
Would a gift or an heirloom be like I really attached to it?
Sure, it could be an heirloom, but you're going to have to become somewhat of a family man.
Part of the no, I didn't mean that. Part of the reason why I'm so attached to Perrin is it has to do with this dagger, because the thing I'm in, we each get one of these daggers, but I have two of them.
Mm-hmm.
One wasn't always mine.
All right, so there's this important dagger dropped back over there. You guys get back around the corner. Perrin, you're no longer so disoriented, but Azar Malkev, the weird fingerless glove guy, just pulled out of nowhere the strength to drag you back around the corner to relay. And as you come out of it, you realize the fat man is gone. What happens next?
Relay's going to finally come to his senses after being a conduit again. And then he's going to notice the condition that Perrin is in, and he'll move forward and he will lay his hands upon him and cast Healing Grace.
All right. So the next time you check your recovery, Perrin, you're going to get +2 to it, so you will be back up to 5 recovery on your next check.
Okay. Do I have to mark anything right now? Just move my recovery back to 5?
No, I'm going to put 3 + 2 in your box just so that we remember that it's temporary.
Oh, gotcha, because until I actually get that healed or rest or something, it's just
right.
Gotcha. Cool.
It's just for the next recovery. So you feel like this could basically be a time release spell. It's not going to actually affect you until you have some time to rest.
Right.
Now, what would you guys like to do?
I'm going to get to my feet and kind of shake my head groggily and say, did we kill that gnoll yet?
No.
I don't think we
And
did.
you guys still have a boost of confidence that no one has used.
I say a very winded no. How do you use it? What would we use it for?
Whereas you could just
whatever roll,
add 1 dice too.
Oh.
Yeah, to whatever roll you want to do, you get to add 1 dice. So you could have added it to that pulling him around the corner thing.
Oh, okay.
Where's Carl Fatman?
He took off running. Something scared him. I think he doesn't like gnolls. But he revealed that the bigger gnolls out there, the she-bitch, that controls them all.
Relay, can you talk to this gnoll and get some info for us?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You just talked to this other gnoll after I'd already killed it.
What did I say?
I don't know. What did you say?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I turn to Relay and say, "You spoke in Inferno."
I spoke in Infernal?
Even if I don't know it?
Sure.
Okay.
It's like recognizing Spanish, even if you aren't fluent.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know how to speak Infernal. I guess it just happens sometimes.
Wait, what's the Pelor? Not
Pelor.
Paladine's the god.
Palestine.
Paladine's the good god in Dragonlance that I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
You could be a paladin of Paladine. I'm not strict on the gods. Paladine could be like an exarch of Pelor, like a vice god.
Or maybe it's the same god by a different name by different cultures.
There you go. That's
kind of
exactly possible too.
Yeah. I mean, it's essentially God X, whatever.
There you go.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
It's
come
kind of
over
like
and
God versus Yahweh versus Allah. They're all technically supposed to be the same thing since all the books are based on each other.
exactly. Can we go finish off this knoll then before it starts calling for others? What the?
It's gone.
I look for my dagger on the ground.
It's gone.
God damn it! And I start going after the knoll.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Did
Before
it
you
take
run
the
off.
dagger?
Hold on. I got the perfect thing. Oh, load. Let me find it. This is going to be too fun.
Oh, footprints.
Shouldn't there only be one
yeah.
set?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just left footprints, no right footprints.
Right. I mean, you got to work with me here, but yeah. Pulling up footprints on the fly. Guys, Azar Malkav is running off ahead of you.
I will follow him.
What's the range on like spells and cantrips?
Situational, usually visual.
Okay.
Unless you're like,
I can
see
this
a
guy.
dragon on yonder mountain range.
No,
Okay,
that-
absolutely. What would you like to do?
I would like to cast my cantrip, which is not a charge spell, and it's
Right.
Eldritch Tentacles, and I'd like to basically whip it out of my hand and grab him and like pull him back to me on his one leg that he has left.
Do you want to whip it good?
Real good. Ba-na-na-na. Here's my bard side.
All right. He is not. Oh God, he's not capable of having a good ability to dodge or anything of that nature. So it's only going to be an obstacle too for you to grab this knoll and with your eldritch tentacles whip him really good back over to you. You're basically going to wrap him up and drag him this way.
Yeah. What's the obstacle?
Make sure you aim for the leg that's still there.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna roll base. No potential.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Bam!
3 success.
Nice with it. Fucking.
For your minor bonus, he is going to drop the blade and it's going to skitter over this way from his the force with which you pulled him. He was running away with the dagger and he drops it and it skitters over. And now he's laying prostrate.
I'm going to wait and see if anyone else wants to go before I keep going. See how they react to what I just did.
Relay, you or me?
Whoever.
Oh wow, there's a whole bunch coming in there.
I mean,
Yeah, they're
I'm happy to
giving
charge in
chase.
there.
What about the fat man?
All right.
I thought
So-
they chased him off.
Yes. Azar,
We'll find out.
You're cutting out again, Joe.
oh, son of a bitch. You guys keep loading. It's killing my...
We caught the son of a bitch.
All right, I'll charge. I'll have relay charge then.
Say,
Captain America style.
this relay runs past me, I'll yell, "Kill the one on the ground, I'll take the big one."
I think he may charge the big one.
Go for it.
We got a boost of confidence, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Alright.
I'm just making
God,
a
I'd
suggestion.
love
You
to
do whatever
feel
you
this.
want.
It's
It's
like
true.
pings off him.
Yep. Yeah, Voth's connection was doing so good too.
Yeah, it was good for a minute there.
It was for the whole first part of the session. It was hanging tight.
He did really good last week too. Like, not
Yeah.
even real any interruptions at all.
No. Now, does the boost of confidence when it's got one bump on it, does that mean we get to add like another D6 to it? Is that it?
Yeah, it's essentially just like adding one potential.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's just the floating potential.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm gonna have Relay do some sort of athletics maneuver here, like a shield bash or something, instead of fighting, because his athletics is much better than his fight.
That's cool.
So then that way, Perrin, you can come in and smash him. I'm sure Azure, you could take care of the limping guy.
I think I did damage to him, unless I forfeited that to pull him.
Yeah. Oh, true.
I hope Joe comes back.
Yeah. Let's see if he's still is he in the hangout. Yeah, he's doubled up in the hangout now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There you are.
Hello.
Hello. We can hear
There's
you.
your mic up. I don't know if his old one left or if the new one left.
Yeah, he's still there.
In the game I used to play.
All right, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Now you're good.
There we go. Barrett.
Okay.
Oh,
No.
no.
No more.
Is he speaking Spanish?
In
Can you hear me?
yeah, you're coming back now.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah, it's really, really spotty.
Yeah. In the game I was in before I joined Rise of the Dragons, I was a lightning sorcerer, and we were in this cave with a lake in it, and our leader was in the water fighting like some kind of fishman or something, and I went to cast a lightning bolt at him, and crit failed. So the lightning hit the lake that he was standing in and electrocuted our leader. But
Oh, wow.
also there was a bunch of like piranhas swimming at him at the same time. So although I zapped our leader, I also killed like 30 piranhas by just lightning bolting the lake by accident. We were just sitting there, and all of a sudden all these things, we didn't know the piranhas were there, and all of a sudden they all bubbled to the top, and there's just all these dead piranhas. We're like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, you just accidentally saved everybody's life.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Best crit fail ever.
Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay. MJ, please stop posting tons of pictures. I think it's eating up my bandwidth.
Is it the gift?
Especially the GIFs. The GIFs are killing me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would slow it down quite a bit.
Yeah, we could just go back to
I just-
regular pictures.
Yeah.
I don't have enough bandwidth to download GIFs and transfer and everything. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And it's still playing.
one day I will get better internet, but considering I live in the middle of nowhere, I have to do with what I could do when I got it.
Exactly.
Back to the game. Azar pulls this guy over. He falls down, and for your minor bonus, he drops the dagger. He had it in his hand, and it goes skittering across the ground to right there. However, pulling him back over also drew the attention of the creatures that were over there with them. And they are sort of following behind him. Now, Azar sort of passed the torch to whoever was next, so we're going to get the next closest to this altercation.
Next closest, or just next one to react?
He
Yeah.
so
Did we lose them again?
if he chooses to but
I think so.
Is there a way
he
to
wants to wait, he can say, I'm just going to
Yeah,
stand
You
here.
can clear Voth. Clear your chat. There's actually a way you can actually clear your current chat log under settings.
Oh yeah, there's just that button.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Clear current chat log.
There you go.
Ah, I just did that.
Yeah.
Yep. See if that helps. Because that should take everything out.
That clear
think
chat
it's
log.
more
There
your-
it is.
Oh yeah, he's got more stuff
back on.
loaded than us.
Yeah.
You're instantly back.
So you can hear me okay now?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right.
So yeah, we were gonna have Relay was gonna do something.
Yeah. I was going to.
Okay. Well, what do you want to do?
He's going to charge the big guy. Kind of like an athletics attack. Not really hitting him with his mace, but he's going to more like shield bash him to try to knock him down.
You want to try to knock him down?
Yeah.
All right. This is
With
a
his boost of
very
confidence.
large alpha female gnoll. It's
Mhm.
easily twice the size of the other ones. Hulking and terrifying. Knocking it down, especially considering you're half of its size, is not going to be an easy task.
Nope.
Just working off logic here. So that's going to be a formidable task to obstacle 5 to slam into this thing and knock it to the ground.
Okay. So he's going to use his athletic ability. That boosted confidence.
Yeah,
does that give me a D6?
1d6.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to consume that.
Do it.
Yeah, he'll charge over there and shield bash it to try to knock her down. Oh, and there's the Carl Fat Man.
Oh, Carl Fat Man.
Yep.
I was expecting Carl Fatman to go along for a while, and I even developed his personality a little bit just in case. Nope, he's killed in the beginning of the session. That's
It's a
fine.
good thing. Good thing Perrin was dazed when Azar basically pushed him to his own death.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a three potential on that also.
Okay.
Oops, going the wrong way in my potential. Okay, so and then I consume the confidence boost, so that's another D6. So I just make it 4 potential, correct?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, here we go. Oh,
All right. You
I'm
can
gonna have
succeed at a minor cost.
how does exploding 6s work though? Do I have to have more than one 6?
You spend 1 crux and then you hit the reroll load 6s thing on your character sheet. Because that has it coded in that the 6s will keep on exploding. So if you roll another 6, it'll automatically reroll another.
Oh, okay. So, but if I roll a 6 and I explode the 6, does it give me 2 6s to reroll, or how's that work when I'm spending a crux on it?
It's basically just one more D6.
Okay, so even
More
if I
D6 would come into your pool essentially.
when I explode them.
Yeah, the 6 will be rerolled, so the 6 stays a 6, and a new dice is rolled that comes out of nowhere because of your crux, because the 6 is exploding. It's producing another one. It's
okay.
asexually reproducing D6s.
Let's do it. Let me throw a crux out there. Let's explode that mother.
Alrighty.
So just roll and explode, right?
Yeah, roll the explode, Mac.
And then how many D6s? Just one?
Once.
Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go. I got my 5.
So that rolled 2D6.
Bam.
Oh no, that's
Why did it roll
because I
I
rolled
think
a
it's just
6.
doing. I think it's keeping the original 6, and then the 1 was
No,
what he
because it
rolled.
exploded again. The other six exploded.
Oh,
I
If you
rolled
look
a
at the macro, you
D6 and
see
got a
the
6, and
yeah.
then I added the 1. Yeah.
you see in the
So-
macro the exclamation point at the end of the greater than
Yeah.
4.
Uh-huh.
That explanation point means to re-roll, explode any 6s further. So you literally rolled the 6 with your exploded 6, which
And then
exploded into, unfortunately, a 1.
Another 1. Yeah.
but bumps you up to 5.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So
I
you
guess-
guys see Relay come charging right past as Dharma. I imagine that he dived to a spear, like a hulking beast, and it stumbles backwards into the trees over here onto its back. And it says it is somewhat disoriented over Relay's basically Raiden style Hemamamale hang at him.
All right, Perrin, you're up. Take him out.
So since he knocked that one back, I'm gonna charge this one.
All right.
And, swing my two-handed sword at him. I'm gonna use.
Are you trying to kill him, wound him, subdue
Kill.
him? What do you want to achieve?
This will be a
Kill?
kill.
Obstacle 4.
Yeah. All right, and I'm gonna use 2 potential. Bring that down to 7. Oh my god.
2. Well, you got some
Alrighty.
6s. It's a lot of
Yeah, but I don't
ones.
have any cruxes.
Oh, it's
He
true.
has no crux. He
I
blew them
wasted
all.
all my cruxes trying to
It didn't work.
not get my ass handed to me by a one-legged knoll.
Here are your options. He dodged you, or it's cost.
What would the severe cost be?
Well, you'll have to choose that option.
All right, I'm gonna just. Well, would I get experience for the severe cost?
Only succeeding at minor cost is worth an extra.
Yeah, I'm just gonna miss then.
Perrin comes up and whiffs this knoll. The knoll dodges back and then like ducks under the blade. You're going to like decap or something. He ducks under the blade and then he's going to come back at you with sort of a club towards your ribs.
Okay.
He's trying to just simply wound you. He's not trying to actually kill you because he doesn't think he can. It's going to be an obstacle 2, not to be struck in the ribs.
Athletics.
Okay, I'm going to do Sanctuary onto Perrin 2 to reduce the target's obstacle of defense actions against a physical or magical attack.
All right. It's going to be obstacle 1 then. Record your daily spell, MJ.
I did.
Athletics, right?
Yep, obstacle 1 athletics.
Yay!
Wow. You
About
succeed
time.
with a major bonus. It's his swing is going to be so overdone because he's like has a sense of desperation about him. It's and you're capable of back around and you could do a downward slashing motion into him right now, just following through with the momentum of your swing, and it would be a mere obstacle 2 to kill him at this point.
All right. Gonna spend 1 more potential because I don't trust my rolls.
Nice.
Bam!
And of course, I would have. Yeah. Okay.
That's 5
That's-
successes.
Okay.
That's another boost.
You cleave him. You cleave him from the crown of his head down to his perineum, and he just splits in half, and his guts all pour out. and you feel this surging of strength. It almost feels as though perhaps the gods look down on you, Paladin, Pelor, whoever it is, place their hand on your shoulder in some way. And you, of course, this is all within your perception, but I'm going to allow you to go ahead and regain 2 potential.
Ooh, excellent. Thank you.
And you absolutely cleave the guy in twain. He's basically gonna be like, here's half of him, and then here's the other half of him.
Jesus.
Head to toe, head to crotch.
Head to perianum.
Yep.
Slice him right in, all his viscera pours out, gore. It's pretty nasty. I have to find another blood token.
Yeah, there you go. Big pool.
To the back. There we go. There, he's toast. You slaughtered this guy. All right. Azar Malkav, there's a large alpha bitch gnoll laying in the trees over there who's working to claw her way back up to her feet. Perrin just absolutely obliterated the shit out of this one, and you saw Rayleigh go flying past you and push the big gnoll over. And then you have your dagger and the prostrate gnoll before you. What would you like to do?
I'm going to walk forward slowly and then kneel down and slit the gnoll's throat with the dagger I still have.
All right. Tell you what. He's definitely going to be looking in the direction of Perrin, and just went balls to the wall. I almost want to say this is like a stealth, just to come up behind him and lightly slice his throat open. It's only going to be an obstacle 1 because he's not really paying attention to you. So you have the pitched battle with which to open his throat.
So do I roll a stealth?
Yeah, just a stealth check.
All right.
And remember, you can add potential or whatever you'd like to do.
No, I'm not gonna add potential. I'm just gonna roll my stealth.
Oh man, you're so stingy with your stealth.
Oh man.
All right.
That's a fail.
Let me see. Cost and record an XP for stealth.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that as you come up behind him, you do successfully get there and begin dragging the blade across his throat. But for the minor cost, you don't kill him fast enough that he has time to react. And he sort of reaches up over his shoulder to struggle against you, and you get gouges down your cheek. So it's just it's a light wound that's going to reduce your recovery by 1 that's clawed down your face. And it also gives you some character.
I like it. After
But he is
kill
dead
him,
meat.
I walk over and I pick up my dagger.
All right, you have a dagger.
Dagger's back.
You don't fuck with my dagger.
And he is laying in a pool of gore. All righty then. Who would like to act?
It'd probably either be Relay or the Knoll.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good point. The Knoll, you could see blood all over her mouth and face and her axe and her hands. Obviously, she was eating Carl Fatman.
Oh.
Well, you could also see Carl Fatman has like bites taken out of his fat arm and shit.
Yeah. But we can definitely tell that he's dead, right?
Yes,
Great.
he
We got
could not, any possibility of life in him. The big one claws her way up as she puts her axe up as she roars, and as she roars, one of her other clanmates is coming up behind you. She basically took her action climbing up to her feet, and she like slams her axe as she's preparing to charge. But the one from behind comes charging up behind you with his weapon drawn, and Azar's the closest. He's going to try to crank you in the back of the head and knock you unconscious.
Oh.
This is going to be an obstacle to athletics because he's not being quiet about it, and he is overcommitting to a smack in the head, so you can have time to react to it.
And it's a what check? Athletics?
Athletics, unless you come up with something else to counter it. If you're just trying to dodge, it's athletics.
I'm going to turn around and try to plunge both my daggers into his jugular with fight.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'm going to add 2 potential to it.
Are you trying to kill him outright with this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to bump it up to an obstacle 3 then, because you're trying to outmaneuver him and kill him before he can kill you. So obstacle 3.
That floating potential, whatever that was called.
No, somebody used it. I think MJ did.
Okay. Yeah, I used the confidence boost.
All right, so I'm using 2 potential on top of 2, so I'm rolling 4 dice against a what?
Obstacle 3. You can add more potential if you like. You could also try to reduce the obstacle if you feel it's too high. You could
I'm gonna roll.
Sacrifice something.
I'm gonna roll the 4 dice, the 2 potential plus the 2 from fight.
Okay. 14. Okay.
1 success.
3, 3, 3, 5. Okay, you got 1 success.
I'm gonna spend a Crux to re-roll.
Okay.
Ooh!
Does that explode into another one?
No.
No, but you do have 2
6.
sixes. You could spend a Crux to explode it.
I'll spend a Crux to explode it. So I spend 2 Cruxes.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh. All right, you could succeed at a minor cost.
Again,
yeah, I'll take an XP and fight.
All right, you got an XP and fight. Let's see, the minor cost. The gouges down your cheek are going to upgrade to a moderate wound. You kill him, but you basically, the gouges down your cheek have null filth in them and things of that nature.
Oh, okay.
Infected.
So they have, it hurts a lot more. His basically gargling blood into your wound. It's not good to mix blood with gnolls, even though you were trying to do it earlier. So you just have null blood running down your face and into your gouged wound. Okay. Fun times. All right, who wants to go now? Relay, would you like to go?
Oh yeah, it'd be Relay before me.
Okay. So he's done. All right. I guess Relay's going to go try to knock her down again. So he can wait for Perrin to come in with the killing blow. He's not too hip on smashing things with his mace right now because of the after effects of the evil deity that had possessed him.
Well, how about this? Before you just automatically commit to knocking her down, you could think of, I mean, there's infinite possibilities. You have bargaining chips laying all around your feet at this point that you could potentially use in something along the lines of an intimidate, or they're alpha. I mean, they're pack beasts, so they would respond to pack animals. So they would respond to a show of force and intimidation and things of that nature. So you don't just have to charge at her again. You have tons of possibilities.
Right. Well, see, in relay though doesn't have a lot of possibilities unless he's going to like try to deceive. He's just not very good at all that kind of stuff.
You're not a talker.
Yeah, he's not too much of a talker. He's just more of a doer. And
it's only one way to get better at him.
Yeah. Let me think for a second then. Because the one thought I did have was for him to kind of turn to her and command her to surrender.
Well, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, having other means of doing things.
Because he would want to find out, you know, he's more in his mind, he wants to find out more about these skulls, and maybe she'll know that. So, you know, he'll stop and just kind of pull out his mace and then point it directly at her and say, surrender.
Okay. Now, there's two ways that you can get her to surrender, because you can't rationalize with a null.
Right.
Which is going to be your intimidation option, where you just cow her, or you could negotiate where you offer her something in return for her surrender.
I'll try the negotiation to say that she can finish her meal of the fat man.
All right. She could speak in very, very broken common. She says, you let me eat blessing of Yinogu, fat man, and you let me run away, live.
After answering questions.
What question I answer?
Perrin's going to interrupt, and he won't let this deception go on because he knows that he's not going to let this evil creature live. So he will say, "You're going to die, Noel."
Perrin's Relay's like,
I can't stand by while you lie.
Tell you what, I like that. I'm going to send a Crux your way for acting according to the way your character would manifest in this situation. Say, no, you're dying. Raise her hackles, her mane comes up as she charges forward, as she's going to attempt to attack, threatening her. She's going to kill you. You're well armored, you're prepared for this situation, so it's only going to be an obstacle 3 to not die.
Oh, Jesus. Obstacle 3 to not die. Athletics, I'm going to use 4 potential. I really don't want to die.
Can Relay also, since it was kind of on his turn, assist Perrin with some sort of fighting maneuver with his shield and his mace to kind of block her attack?
All right.
To help
as
block?
She's charging in, Relay's going to try to step in and some way wound her, correct?
Not really wound her,
so
but just kind of block her coming attack at Perrin.
Okay. Let me think about this. I would say it would probably fall under the umbrella of fight because it's a tactical maneuver, unless you want to go with physique and just be raw, forceful with her.
No, I think more
what
of a fight, yeah.
All right, you're trying to essentially create a bonus for Perrin.
Right.
I'm going to set the obstacle at 2. If you meet 2, there's a floating dice that you can get to Perrin. Any and a 2 is another. So if you get a 3, you pass him 2 dice. If you get a 4, you pass him 3 dice, so on and so forth.
Okay.
And it's the obstacle 2.
Yeah, I think I'll use 2 potential.
One.
I'll use 2 potential in that situation. And so I'll pump it up to a 46 on my fight. And hope for the best.
Let's see what.
Well, I guess that's 2. That's 1 success. And then I can spend a Crux to re-roll that, right?
Yes, you could. You could re-roll the 2.
Okay. Let's re-roll that 2. Yes.
Re-rolls a. So you got a 4?
Yep, I got a 4.
That's weird. Well, that's a success. I didn't put in the code that records.
Yeah, you just did the 1d6. Yeah.
But either way, that's 2 successes. So you're going to pass an assistance die to Parent.
There you go.
You've interceded and tried and pushed her slightly off balance, so her attack isn't going to be quite as gruesome. So you have a free potential, basically, to spend on this roll, Parent.
And it's an obstacle 3, right?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to use that die plus 3 potential on my athletics. Oh my god.
Oh, well, that's good. You got your 3.
Oh, just barely.
Now you get.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She charges through the blood. As Rayleigh comes up and intercedes. She has to try to weave her way around him and loses her footing slightly in the blood. And when her axe comes careening down in your head, towards your head, you're able to catch it on your sword and divert it as you dodge quickly to the side over here, kind of behind Perrin. And her axe slams into the dirt like she would have cleaved you in twain had she hit you. All right, who would like to go?
I think I'm up after that.
Yeah.
After I block her attack, I'm going to make a stabbing motion at her stomach.
All right, what's your intent?
To run her through in the stomach. I mean, I don't know if that'll straight up kill her, but definitely going to not trying to capture her or anything.
You want to wound her severely, basically.
Yeah.
Running her through, she is slightly off balance after her overcommitted attack and sloshing through blood and whatnot, but she is still has a shield and is a strong, powerful unit. It's going to be an obstacle for her to run her through.
All right. I am going to just roll it straight up. I am feeling pretty confident with my 2 comrades also surrounding her.
Ooh.
Wow. That's actually really freaking good.
You got a 6 in there too. Yeah.
Would you like to do anything?
I could use some experience in my fight.
All right. Recording XP.
Yep. I've used a shit ton of potential, and I only have 1 crux. So we need to get off this mountain before I blow everything.
Okay. I remember you had a spell bonus from Relay. That was going to give you a bonus to your healing. Well, as you run her through, she wraps her arms around you and hugs her close, and she whispers a curse of Yinogu into you. It's not a long-lasting curse. What it does instead is she more or less consumes that bonus off of you as she drops down to one knee and blood starts pouring out of her mouth. And, she says something like, "May Yinogu curse you for all your days." Of course, it's not that powerful.
Yeah.
It's more grandiose than anything. And she's not dead, but she is just she's wounded and definitely at your mercy.
Can I kick her axe away?
Absolutely. Axe skitters away and smacks into Carl Fat Man.
Fat Man.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Alrighty.
Azure should go.
Well, you guys have concluded the threats. After this, after you impale her and she grunts, circling, pattering feet or anything, you feel like you're pretty much in the clear, and you have her at your mercy.
Okay. Relay is going to do a nice athletic maneuver to knock her prone again. Just like knock her legs out from underneath her. Do like
It's a freebie. She is at your mercy.
Okay.
She doesn't have the energy to fight, so she just falls to the ground.
And then he'll kind of look back up to Perrin and, hold a hand up saying, wait. We have questions.
Perrin, are you going to wait or are you going to finish her?
Since I do still have some respect for Perrin, and I was looking at him kind of weird for bringing the Knoll back to life, but I mean, this guy's kind of the whole reason I came to Waybury and stuff. I'm gonna respect his wishes for a moment at least.
He stays his blade.
Relay will turn over to Azure and kind of give him this knowing look like, watch my back. Azure. Azar. The blue man. Listen here, goth. Okay. Gosh, I have no idea what to ask her because Relay is more focused on the skulls. And so he's going to kind of ask her the same question that he asked Knoll, that he spoke, infernal to, but in common here.
All right, what do you ask her?
We need to find the skull, the magical skull of the Lich.
She looks at you very confused as she says, I do not know. Our skulls we carved of rock.
You know of any magical skulls or anything?
She starts to go on a long tale of how the totem is magical and it lets her speak to Yinogu, and with sacrifice, blah, 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 blah. And she starts going into, that's the magic she knows.
And Relay will turn to her and say, Yinogu speaks through me.
She looks confused as she says, you're no Knoll.
Correct. But Yinogu has spoken through me.
She's not a sharp tool. I mean, what are you trying to get from her by telling her this?
Yeah, trying to impress her to, be forthcoming with information.
I guess she's impressed. I mean, if you say you could talk to Yinogu, she has no way of measuring this unless you were to somehow channel Yinogu in front of her.
Yeah. Well, now with the channeling of the gods, I guess I'm trying to just keep it down to like once a session, once by me a session, and then maybe once by you a session, if that makes sense. So because I don't want it to be like this common thing that happens, at every
you don't want it to be
whim
spammy.
Yeah, exactly. I want to kind of keep it to that, to where like, okay, if I have a point where it should come up that I think, great. If you have a point where you want it to come up, great. Throw it out there.
Well, in this point, since you're sort of randomly hit by the gods, there's absolutely no channeling of Yinogu going on whatsoever. So you're just kind of like, I can channel Yinogu, and make your eyes wide like, ha-ha.
I can channel your god, and I'm human. But
But without proof, she's very skeptical.
And he's going to say, I still hold true to my promise, but I can't speak for my friends. If you don't have information for us, you're not going to get your meal and you're sacrificed to Yenogu, and you're just going to be the sacrifice for Yenogu.
She bares her teeth and claws out at you. It's going to be just a simple obstacle one, not to be struck by her.
Okay.
All right. You hop back out of the way as she flails about.
I'm going to put my sword at her throat and ask where her... Oh, sorry.
Okay. So she's not run through anymore. You remove the blade and hold it to her throat?
Yeah, and ask her where her lair is and if there's more gnolls about.
Yeah, Relay will put a foot on her, whatever her dominant arm claw is.
Right-handed.
Right-handed, so that she can't do that again.
No, actually, left-handed people are evil, so it's going to be your left hand.
Okay. They're soulless. Yeah, he'll put on her.
Gingers. Left-handed gingers are the Antichrist.
He'll put a foot on her left hand so she can't do that again.
All right. And what was the question again? She's not too bright. She lost track.
Yeah.
Where's her lair, and are there any more gnolls about?
Upon asking for the lair, Azar knows enough about gnolls to know that they have no lair. So as she spouts off something about the land is ours and we blah 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 blah, it basically says there's no lair. They're nomadic.
Okay.
And as far as how many others are there, she doesn't know numbers in that manner. She just you're not going to be able to piece together because she talks about well, she wouldn't use the word contiguous, but there's a pack. There's a pack that and it's considered the world pack. Like, so all over the world is her tribe and they're nomadic. So it's like, fucking thanks. You're no help.
Yeah. Relay will ask, where are we? He's like, I know this location. It's very familiar. It's sort of familiar to me. Where are we?
We are. She slides back on the ground and goes unconscious.
I will put my sword through her throat, ending her misery.
Realize, like, no.
I'm going to turn to the other two and, gentlemen, I've realized something since we've been up here. Put us on this mountain for a reason. There has to be at least one skull somewhere on this mountain. I say we make a pact with each other that we find the skull, or when we find a skull, we keep searching for two more to make sure all three of us have one before we split up.
Jacob?
Jacob's gone. Or you're muted, one of the two.
Yeah, I wonder.
I wonder if he went AFK.
Jacob. Yeah, may have. Doesn't he know that you have macros for going AFK?
I know. Come on. You just do this.
Real quick, I'm going to go AFK because I need to take a leak anyways, and hopefully he'll be back when I get back.
Okay.
Cool. I'm going to do the same.
Everybody's leaving.
You there, Jacob? Jacob. You could text him, see if he's dead.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yep. So Matt, how you like that new
Trying to
computer?
figure out.
Oh my god, it's so much better.
Is it?
It's not like a super great computer or anything. It's just the other one was so old.
Yeah.
I mean, I know nothing
An
about.
upgrade's an upgrade.
Yeah, I know nothing about computers, but one of my friends that I work with, he actually runs like the North American Quake 2 gaming society. So like
Oh wow.
a game from like 1995 they're still playing, which is pretty awesome.
Jesus Christ.
You didn't even have a jump button in Quake 2.
Yeah.
No was it XY access or whatever?
Yeah, super old school. Yeah, you didn't aim up or down, you just aimed left or right pretty much.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yep.
Games are so complicated now.
Right? So I was just randomly searching Amazon for sales one day, and I saw this one pop up. So I was like, "Hey, is this a decent computer?" He's like, "Yeah, no, that's pretty good." So it was on sale on Amazon for $250. I got the 2-year warranty for another $50, so it's $300 for a new laptop. It's been
That's crazy.
Yeah, really, all I need it for is this game, fantasy baseball, and then like Word and Excel. You know, I'm not going
I've
to
been
get
thinking
any of the
about
super
picking
new
up a laptop.
Yeah, I'm not going to get any like the new computer games that run crazy stuff, or like the most common video game I'll probably put on here is Diablo 2, like old school.
Yeah.
So I need to buy a mouse though. But yeah, it feels like I'm sprinting after crawling on that old one.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Like, I have a decent computer. I mean, this one, it's like not that expensive.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, for running Roll20,
you don't need a lot.
Roll20 and Hangouts, man, you could really do it on a Chromebook if you really needed to.
Yeah, I mean, this is a HP notebook, so it's not.
Okay.
But it's got a CD drive and everything, unlike most notebooks. But
yeah,
essentially, I just need to run the internet.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see if I could text Jacob. My freaking 4G isn't working back here.
Oh.
Yeah.
The house. I'll be back.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So MJM, I created a new game on Roll20, but in the near future, I might kind of pick your brain on how I actually put together everything, because I've never put any of the codes or the layers or anything like that.
Yeah. Now, if you're not pro status, are you just you're just regular subscription status?
Just regular.
So you're going to have a lot of things not available to you. So like,
how much is the pro?
It's $100 a year.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. It's just like a one-time charge.
Yeah.
Each year, but then you can get into all the the character sheets and do the custom character sheets, and then add the API scripts and stuff like that to do the power cards or whatever.
Yeah. Once I put some stuff on there and kind of get some maps built and stuff like that, I might. Yep. Can you add a second person as a GM?
You can. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I might add you as a GM just to kind of look at some of it.
Sure, not a problem. Yeah, I'd be just let me know if you need any help for the programming or other things like that. I would just get on and start playing on your game and seeing how the macros work, how they work on the character sheets and stuff like that, and just kind of learning all the different HTML stuff.
Exactly, because like I love Rise of the Dragons, where you had like it's so set up that it was, click on enemy X and it automatically does everything. But I'm probably going to end up being more like Voth style, where I get the map going and then it's kind of
Correct.
a little more chill. I think that
yeah,
it's a little easier to run.
That's what I always try to do with my macros, just to make them something a little bit easier to, just to go within the confines of the game. But just something easier to make it quicker for you to process something on the fly than, doing other things.
Spend a little more time on the front end to make it quicker on the back end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, just like the character sheets we're using in this game here, or, when I did the power cards there, it was, nice and easy to see, okay, I was rolling this skill and the skill was at that level and I rolled this. So I know that there was a, this much shift difference, just first looking, just so that it just, expedites things a little bit quicker. And then, you kind of see as you go along and you DM a session, you find out, oh, that would have been really nice to have this. So you go the next week and you work on a macro to do that. So, but
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a lot of fun. It gives you something to do in your spare time.
And that's why I'm starting it now, because I know this game will go for a while, and then we have those other games that we can always hop back to.
Exactly.
So I figure if I get started now, because it's gonna take me a while. Might as well get started now, so by the time we are ready for something.
True. Well, and that's what I'd suggest. His game. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's gonna start working on setting up a GM game or whatnot. But
I created just kind of the big, I hit create game, but I really haven't done anything to it yet. But I figure
step
get
one,
started.
Create game.
Exactly. Yeah, like I added on like one map so far.
Yeah,
because I was bored at work the other night. But I figured I'll get started on it now, because it's going to take me a while, and I know we've got this game's going to go for a while, and then we can always hop back to the other ones and stuff.
Yeah, and just play with it. Just get on your game and play. Just start playing with things, trial and error. The best way to do it is to fail and figure out what you did wrong, and then go fix it, and then it's just fine.
Yeah.
Any idea what
I'm going to
system
reach
you
out
plan
to
on using?
I was thinking of doing kind of what we've done. Like, I love the rigidness of 4E, but it's I also I really enjoy also this kind of free flowing. What makes a lot more sense logically. Like they both to me have their upsides, and I enjoy both the same. Like I love.
Oh yeah.
I love the video gameness of like moving in turns and having hit points and the more limitations, but I also love this makes for a better story and more fluid game.
Right. Well, this is very much set up for storytelling, whereas like 4E is set up for, it's basically playing a tactical RPG where it's not so much about the story, it's about advancing your character and his statistics and his numbers, which I love. Like I played the crap out of MJ's Dungeon Delve stuff, where it's like the story was like, all right, we're going to RP for about 30 seconds, and now we're going to have a battle for 6 sessions,
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy without the video game.
The skeletons are just going to keep spawning.
Oh my god. That video, when I went back and watched you guys' fighting those skeletons for like 8 straight hours, that was so entertaining.
Insane.
Yeah. See, that's where I could have used.
But we didn't just realize the zombies are going to keep coming. You should probably run. So we fought for 2 sessions.
And that's where making the macros and doing your programming ahead of time can kind of expedite things more. And there would there probably could have been some things that I know now that I could have done in that session to make it expedite even quicker. But hindsight's always 20/20. But
but I mean, I love games like that where it just is like, all right, go fight this shit.
Yeah. And see, I found that in Fate. I really have. I think with our last big fight at the house with you guys. Yeah. I think really well. I think I found a medium that I liked between the combat and then the free form flow of Fate to allow that to kind of happen, and just playing along with the storyline for, things happening. So I thought that went really, really well.
Well, I think it also works really well for our group too, because none of us are like trying to make our character be overpowered and be the best character. We're all trying to make it be realistic as well. We're not trying to be like, oh nope, I'm going to kill everybody. We're like, like when we lost, when we were doing Operation Dante, we all played it realistic. It was
exactly.
Oh, I lost our climbing gear because that would have been the easiest for the zombie to rip off me. That's going to fuck us trying to get up the elevator shaft.
Yeah, and just like Voth had said before, that it's the characteristics of the aspects, just like in this game with the motivations and the aspects and everything, that really focus your character properly instead of like, okay, well, I'm just going to take a whole bunch of levels in this skill and stuff like that, or whatever. It really, really works out great. Oh, he just dropped off the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I called him. I finally got my 4G working good enough that I could call him, and so I was like, dude, what happened? He's like, having internet issues.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep, it does.
I'm kind of tempted to reach out to my uncle, because he's the guy who got me into Dungeons and Dragons back in high school, and I think he just retired. So I'm like, hey, now that you're retired, you're free Tuesday mornings?
That's right. Add him in. There you go.
Yeah, he's the one who got me. He was the first DM. I mean, he was the GM first game I ever played, and he's the one who got me into the Diablo games and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did. Oh, super old school. The first game we played was Temple of Elemental Evil.
No, that's
yeah.
that's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even back then though, he was creating his own. It was all pen and paper, but he was creating his own system. He combined D&D and a game called, I think it was Swords and Sorcery or something like that.
Okay.
And kind of made his own kind of riffed on an AD&D system.
His own hack of the system.
Exactly. Yeah.
House rule hack or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess hack is more of a Fate thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
every time you have a system that you're working with, and you're like, I wish it would do this.
Right.
And then so you're like, oh, instead of wishing, it now does this.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
This we do.
This game's all about having fun, so if it's going to make the game more enjoyable, do whatever you want.
Yeah, because my sons play Pathfinder, and they've actually added in a version of fate points to.
What's the difference between Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons? I've always kind of wondered about that.
I would say
it's basically
Pathfinder
3.5.
Well, yeah, I would call it Pathfinder would be like Dungeons and Dragons 3.75 because they've taken the
3.5 and.
Yeah, they took the 3.5 rules and have added more things to it, and done things like that.
Because 3.5 was more like 2, right? Where mages, you would have the spell levels, and then you'd have to restudy your books the next morning to get remember the spells, stuff like that.
Right, exactly. It basically what 3.5 existed, and everyone liked 3.5. And then D&D decides we're going to come out with 4th edition, and 4th edition is more. They were trying to create a video game, sort of the way things work for the tabletop, and
4E was just so easy.
A lot of people hated it. There's, it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, so they hate it. And there's a lot of people that say 4E took the role play out of role-playing games. And to me, that just really depends on how you play a game. You can make it work if you can. But the point is, a lot of people hated it. And so their answer to it was to make Pathfinder, because they thought D&D was a lost cause now, so to speak.
Sure.
Now, this is me interpreting based off their actions. I don't really know if anyone said, this is a lost cause, But
what happened was...
They basically decided to reinvent 3.5.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It wasn't actually a reinvent. It was when they released 3rd edition, they released the D20 system, which was an open market for a lot of people to make their own games upon and basically make adventures and things like that. And Pathfinder was from the company Piazzo, which was the company that was doing Dragon and Dungeon magazine. Well, then Wizards of the Coast pulled it back from them, and they're just like, fine, well, we're going to make Pathfinder. So they actually, I think it was right before when 4th edition was about to be released, when it was no longer an open market that people could make other things on for 4th edition. Piazzo said, fine, we're making Pathfinder, and we're just going to go ahead with the rules of, D20 and, make it, D&D 3.75. And so everybody latched onto that after they had all their debogles about 4th edition and not liking it, because they're like, well, there's nothing wrong with 3.5. We just move forward with that. And that's what they ended up doing. So then Pathfinder became more popular than D&D 4th edition. And so everyone just kept playing with that and went on with it.
The thing I loved about 4th edition, it was just so easy to make a character, especially if you had the tool builder guide. Like you could roll up a new character in 5 minutes, and it's just selling. If you didn't want to put, if you wanted to put a ton of time into it, you could overpower your character and really, like Mark used to do, where he would find all the little glitches and everything.
You made synergy. You could make synergy with your character of how, and then characters with characters. It was really, really cool, I thought.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun just going around and like making new characters and multi-classing different things into each other and seeing how they kind of worked out. And some of them were terrible failures, and some of them were fun. Like Paladin, Warlock. That was a fun combo that. Worked out really well.
That was OP as hell.
He was a slayer. He would run in and jack people up. Whenever you were far away from people and you could get a charge off, you would just slam them.
Yeah.
See, and I really, really hated making characters in 4th edition, but I enjoyed DMing it so much. Just because I could grab monsters, and the way that they had set up all the DMing made it so much easier that I hated to play. I hated to play a character in 4th edition, but I totally loved GMing or DMD.
The fights were fun in that game. We had some heavy hitters between Prath and Roland. Just coming
and then
out
when you added Jacob in there, man, you guys became like a powerhouse.
That was the first true control we had, because what was his name?
Magnus was no DPS,
right?
But he had an area of effect, like he could just shift the battlefield around and lock everyone in place. So he would shift people into big groups so that Roland could nuke them. With the AE. It was broken. It was so broken.
It was so
Roland and Magnus were a good combo, and then Pratt was a great solo guy.
Yeah, that's true. Prath would just go in one shot, guys.
Run in one shot, and then Magnus would line people up, and I'd set everyone on fire.
And I understand it. It really was a broken game, but man, it was fun. Just go in there and have you guys just smash the snot out of all the monsters. Was just like totally entertaining to me.
Like we took down, granted it was a small young dragon, but we took down a dragon in like 3 turns.
Yes.
That game, as a GM, it was hard to present appropriate challenges. Like I would have to not just like, how would I put it? Like, you can't just put an encounter in front of them and say, fight it, and expect them to be challenged. You'd have to, like, put a creature way above their level and then have to, like, bring in creatures as the fight is going, and then all this kind of stuff. So, because it was so hard to balance, you're like, well, is this dragon going to be overpowered? Because a lot of it comes down to the caprice of the fucking D20.
Yep.
So they might get some really good rolls, or they might just be bombing rolls. So if you throw too much at them at once and they start bombing rolls, well, you just wipe the party. So you throw a lot at them, and if they roll good, you start in bringing more. And it's like, it was such a balancing act to create a challenging fight in that game.
Yeah. Which MJ, you did a good job, because we had a lot that we.
Yeah.
It was rare that we were worried about dying, but we had a lot of ones where we all got pretty low in our HP where we were fighting. Like the one where we were on the city wall and they were trying to
the ravens, the undead ravens were coming in at you guys. So there was more than just
all of us in that one.
Yeah. Oh, here's the monsters. Go kill them. There was aspects in the game of, oh gosh, we got to get up and over the wall to safety by and then killing all these things. And and then
like the zombies too. Like we're like, haha, we're gonna slaughter zombies, and I go charging in.
Yeah.
And then
charging to the north.
Oh, they're never stopping. Oh.
Both charges to the top of the screen, and we hear, "Oh fuck!"
You see on the video, Bot's character goes up, and there's like a whole horde of them up there. He's like, "Oh crap!" Yep. So it's certain things you have to add in, I think, with 4th edition to make it, because I always took it in the frame of mind of making extra hard encounters, and then a normal encounter, because you did need a normal encounter, especially after a real hard encounter. Pre guys could just kick their butts just to mentally get the characters, and the players back on the same page, just to have them have a breather. So that's what I always did. I did, the minutia that I had found with balancing the game and with all the different little things that I put in there, the skill challenges or the complications in the situation, like the skill challenge where you guys were in Winter Haven and they were all bursting through. There was no combat in that at all. It was just all you guys using skills and then, role playing the strange oddities, things that happen. Like where
the same when we broke into the wizard's house and we were trying to be snaky.
Yeah. Yep. But remember the one guy came down off the wall. He came down off the wall and he was looking like he was going to throw a dagger at you during the skill challenge and start attacking you. And then even in the midst of that, I had Clarence started a one-on-one PvP with the town guard captain guy as you guys were in the middle of the skill challenge.
Oh, he got his ass kicked so bad.
And it was meant to be that.
In the prison realm of Azikaroth, when we were in the maze and we found the we found the beholder that put socks on his eyes.
Billy the beholder.
Socks on his eye stalks, and then I managed to convince him to be friendly, and I gave him the name Billy, and I put a name tag on him, and it said Billy. And then later on, he was being a dick, and he wasn't cooperating. And I walked over and I ripped his name tag off of him and threw him to the ground. It's like, I don't even know you anymore.
that was after, because you guys were like, oh no, we'll get you out of here. We're going to de-arm the trap and then you can move away and then we'll be best buds and everything. And then all of a sudden, Pedro went to disarm the trap and kept messing it up. Big time, failed over and over. And the trap kept going off and smacking him. And so then Billy's like, you guys are incompetent. And he just started attacking. And see, that was kind of the part of, I think, role-playing in 4th edition, light role-playing, I should say, to where you just kind of rolled with things that came up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I, bar none, did the most role-playing in that group.
Oh, yes.
Mattia wasn't really interested in it. No. Jonathan hated it. Jonathan was like, oh, can we just get on to the next fight? I need to get XP. You know? Like, he didn't see NPCs. He saw bags of XP that needed to die.
Yep. And loot.
Yeah.
That's why he was
everything
elementalist.
Yeah. So it was... and then there was me and Pedro, who would be goofy and RP and stuff.
Yep. Well, Pedro would be like, dick RPing. He would do things just out of spite sometimes.
Yeah.
And then,
But it was still fun. It made things
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
It made it interesting. We had a good mechanic of the game there, but I think our pinnacle hit when we hit the Rise of the Dragons. That whole group there, with everybody there, we had nailed it down pretty good.
Yeah,
Well,
that
we
was
had a
fun
much
one,
more
especially-
RP intensive group.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody was into the RP except for Mark.
Yep.
But I think it was great, and then it just went over the top when Jacob joined in. Like that
Yes.
really took the group to another level.
Yep. Once we added Jacob in there,
That's my little brother.
yep, it just became. And then we had to end.
Like,
that's the sucky part.
I can still hear him doing his dwarf voice. Like,
Yep.
Yeah. That comes from years of growing up with me. We would LARP shit all the time and dress up like idiots and run around. Like, yeah, we talked. There was some game we played where we talked like dwarves all the time. I don't remember what it was. But, and I also remember we used to play Wolfenstein, Enemy Territory. Enemy Territory, and it was like put online as a free multiplayer game.
Yep.
And we would run around and we'd talk in German accents all the time. You'd be like, "Nine," and jump out and shoot rockets at people.
Yep.
The Panzerfaust. It was considered like super lame and no skill, and everyone hated it. So I named my character Lame Bastard and would run around nuking people with the Panzerfaust. They're like, "You lame pal."
That's pretty much what
how
I
do you
was.
insult someone named Lame Bastard?
Like that's pretty much what I was basing any of our weird World War II stuff was Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Like that's just the world I was putting my head in.
True. Yeah. Well, that's adequate for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, those games were great, and then they came out. The first one they came out with for the Xbox, like the original Xbox, probably I don't know, 2006 or something. That was a really fun game, actually.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
Enemy Territory was so good because it was PvP, and I'm like obsessively a PvP person.
Yeah.
And like I love to like pwn people. I would run around as a medic with just their like SMG, and I'd be shooting people in the head and jumping off buildings and throwing a medic pack so I'd land on it instead of breaking my leg, sort of shit.
Right.
Like I was like Hacksaw about it.
Oh, that's Counter-Strike, wasn't it? Not Counter-Strike. It was the other one.
It was a Wolfenstein hack that they put online and made it into.
Oh, was it? Because it sounds like with the medic, the what
Battlefield.
Was that? No, the one kind of came out after Counter-Strike, the big PvP one on Steam.
I don't know. You're talking about Heroes and Generals?
No. First-person shooter.
Oh, hell, I don't know.
Flamethrower guy.
Heroes and Generals was a pretty badass game.
Oh, Team Fortress?
Team Fortress. That's it.
I never actually played that one.
Oh, me neither.
Oh, you would love that one. It was a lot of fun. You had all the different characters, and sort of kind of like a Counter-Strike thing. You have to go. Wow, it really wasn't.
I don't know why. Because it seemed cartoony. I just never took it serious. I never played it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Whereas
I have to say,
Heroes and Generals was in beta forever. I don't know if they ever. It might still be. Hell if I know. But the point is, it's like basically World War II, and then you go play individual maps, and then there's like this meta map where you can buy units and disperse them over the battlefield, and you can go play as one of your units in the battle, except it's all online. It's like taking MAG. I don't know if you guys know what MAG was, but it was like taking MAG to the next level.
No.
And game, I was like super obsessively, Like I could carry a game. Like I could have a group of retards and beat the other team just because I got so focused on what the objectives were, and I'd like break into their base and then steal one of their tanks and then blow him up from behind, and like they wouldn't know what the fuck was going on. All kinds of stuff like that. And I also
That's funny.
hip firing like a tricked out SMG. Like it was not a pay to play game, but you could pay to not grind, so to speak.
Okay.
But I didn't pay. I was just good enough that I could, since when you come in first enough, you would get enough stuff that it's like, well, I can afford this shit and then you could buy like an upgrade to your ammo and you get like 3,000 rounds. So that could last you for a couple of games. So for like a couple of games, that could be God mode and shit. It was fun. And they had paratroopers. I could paratroop down. It was fun.
The one thing I always wanted to do. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just rambling about a game.
The one thing I always wanted to do in 4E, and I think it was rigid enough that it'd be the only system I think would really work for it, was just a ridiculously large scale battle.
Yeah.
I mean, like picture Winterfell and we were being attacked and it was like 100 on 100.
I was actually,
because you need the initiative roll, so it's orderly. Otherwise, it'd just be chaos. But like,
I was
everybody
actually
gets 20
working on
characters
for the Rise of the Dragons. You remember the picture I showed on the Rise of the Dragons of all the dragons attacking the wall and the humans all fighting back and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I had a battle in plan that was going to be the epic long last battle that was going to span probably like 6 or 7 or even 10 sessions, that was in the plans and in the makes after you guys had found the hammer to destroy the spear, and then come back and you have to go to what was the main city? It wasn't Winterhaven. Fallcrest. Fallcrest was the big city in the interior Vale. And I was planning a huge battle to where you guys were going to have to do skill challenges mixed in with your turn of fighting things that were there in front of you. So commanding your troops in a big, huge, large map plus singular combat all at the same time is what I had planned for that. It was going to be epic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the one I wanted to try to build was essentially just like almost no RP, just a big creator battle where it's like you're in this kind of like a maze almost, and fog of war is on. And just like, all right, here's 30 people in this giant maze. Last one alive wins.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like, just fuck it. Just go.
Yep. Oh, man. I ran a post by email PvP 3rd edition, 3.5 edition game for over a year via email.
Wow.
To where I was the dungeon master or the game master or arena master, whatever you want to call it. And it was just an all-out arena battle. Deathmatch was one of them, and then I had another one to where you had to go charge certain nodes, and once you connected all the nodes to the last home base of the other thing, you could go destroy it, and you actually had to hit it with your weapon to do damage to it or to charge it and stuff like that. And gosh, that was a lot of work. But it was really fun. Yeah. It was a lot, but I was just mainly focused on doing the GM work, so I wasn't running any monsters. I was just mitigating all the rules and everything that the people were doing and interpreting what their spells were doing or their attacks were doing, and all the dice rolls. I did all the dice rolls for them through visual maps and stuff like that as they took their turns and stuff. Yeah. And so some of the guys, when I had to actually end that game, were like, no, this is the best post by email game we've ever had.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, but that's what it made me think of.
11 o'clock, and I don't think Jacob's going to make it back.
No, we might have to call it for today.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm thinking so.
Because, I mean, Like we were talking about running a little bit long today, but if he's not here, I mean, what are we going to do?
Exactly. Well, and it's a good stopping point in the game here. I mean, we just
it is kind of a natural.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed because I have all these notes and shit that I want you guys to do, but
yeah, I was trying to figure out what questions I should ask, but I couldn't get to any. I had no idea what to do.
I know, and I can only leave an evil creature alive for so long.
That's true.
I would say you guys have to find the skulls, right? And
Right.
like I left some sort of hints in the forum, but you and Jacob started talking about just everything. But
yes,
I mean,
exactly.
if you have a lich who has brought in hundreds of people to find an item,
right?
I mean, it's that should imply something to you. It's like if you're going to bring hundreds of people into a search party, you probably don't know where it is. Or it's so dangerous that you're expecting a lot of people to die on the way to getting it. It's probably not going to be at the base of the mountain that he started you at, you know?
Well, you never know. It could be one of those things that, you left it back underneath the boulder. You got to go all the way back now.
Yeah, I could be trolly, but I'm interested in telling an epic story, not just setting up a giant troll.
True.
So,
well, and I'm going to push to get us to kind of work together and promise. I mean, I know Jacob probably won't hold to this promise, which, he should go where his character goes, but trying to bring the group together for good, even though I know it's probably not going to work.
Right.
Don't naysay yourself so much.
Well, no, I mean,
we're good. We won't be able to do it. Achieve good things, but I know we can't.
I love playing within limitations. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like being this good character, I hate overpowered characters. I love strong, powerful characters that can kick ass, but I hate unrealistic, overpowered characters, which is why this one I think is going to be fun. That I have certain limitations that I have to work within.
Yep, you got to play around your flaws.
Yeah.
You're by far the strongest in hand-to-hand melee combat.
Yeah.
Like you dumping what is it, 3 or 4 extra D6 on an attack? That's brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one dimensional to a certain regard, and your defense isn't as strong. So obviously,
and I can't keep that up forever either.
Right. Well, that's what the potential is for. That's that pacing mechanism.
Yeah.
So
no, it'll be fun to see where this one goes.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, no, I just got to that certain point and I had no idea what to do. I mean, I had the ideas in the forums like, well, obviously the Lich he's having us go get the skulls because he can't go get them himself. Or is he just doing it for our entertainment?
That's what I say. The assumption that he can't go get it himself is not necessarily the correct assumption.
Right.
Like for instance, let's say you have a dog and it goes missing. Is the best thing for you to go out by yourself and wander around aimlessly, or to conscript people to help you and have a group go out multiple directions? It's all about the the statistical probability of someone coming across something is much higher with a large group. That's one angle. So it's not necessarily just the idea that if he touches the skull he's going to die. If that was the case, then why would he need hundreds of people? He could do it with just one person and take him over and say, "Could you pick that up for me? Thank you." You know what I mean?
Right. That's true.
So
true.
So I just
this could all just be
a
big game to him too, just toying with lesser mortals.
There's all kinds of possibilities of why he would be conscripting hundreds of people to find a set of skulls for him.
Right.
So I want you guys basically just to broaden your horizons and not just be like, "You're a dumbass null." do you know where the skull is? I mean, it's something that's going to be hard to find. It's not going to be something that you go outside the Lich's front door and
Well,
here it is, dummy.
Well, I was working on getting the knoll to be, friendly and stuff. I was going to give him back the fat man to eat, but then Perrin just like, nope, you're dying. I was like,
No,
yeah.
I was working on turning Carl Fatman into a minion.
Yeah,
I know. And then Jacob feared him away. I'm just like,
in our free time, I was going to train him on swordplay.
I know.
We're killing our own selves.
I even had storyline prepared for how Carl would develop as a person in the group. And no, not anymore.
He's dead now.
But I mean, that's some of the best parts of this game, like the twists and turns. I mean, I think the best example is still when I was like, all right, let's kill that Nazi leader. And he's like, no, let's save him. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, oh, no, let's kill him. I was like, what? Wait, what just happened?
Wait, I thought we were saving him.
Well, I was until
that was priceless.
Compelled.
Man. Yeah, I mean, that was just like the ultimate wild card, but the best example of, the non-railroad, the vast giantness of the world that you can do whatever the fuck you want within reason.
How the story can just change with one simple little thing. And exactly like you said, Voth, you just throw it out. You throw everything out, and the story becomes so much more vivid than what you actually had planned.
Yeah, and it's great having, the extra people in here too, because, I mean, I think when we were doing those games, like MJ and I had a good rapport, and Voth and I had a good rapport, but throwing that third person in there, I think just makes it even better.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like saving the Nazi never even crossed my mind. Not at all. And then throwing in that extra voice there is just makes it much more interesting.
Yeah, I was just like, is Voth going to go for that? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, well, I'll mention it. And then you'd said something to me, Voth, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, and I mean, the worst case scenario is you say no. It's like, okay, plan B.
Yep, plan B. Okay, that's not going to work. That's not going to be viable.
I'm sure you guys have noticed at this point that I almost never say no.
It's true.
I say yes and or at the cost of, but no is not something I commonly say.
That's the one.
Yes, you can try to fist fight the Balrogafant, but no, that's probably not going to work real well.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the one I have to work on, because there's some times where it's like, that really won't work. But then, and it should be like, well, yeah, that can work, but this is going to happen.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to really, on the one that I'm going to start building, is less setting up the storyline and more just work on building the world, and then let things, have a few key things. Like I have one area and one main focal point, but once we get to that point, like maybe you guys stumble on it session one, maybe on, it comes into play way later. Like I want to try to build an in-depth world where, because I am more single-minded and a little more straightforward, where I don't have like, that Voth mentality of like, oh, nope, that didn't work. All right, here, do this. Like, so I'm trying to build as much stuff as possible so I don't have any dead ends.
Well, in my experience too, don't try to build as much as you think. As even in the world, that you think in a D&D world and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, like, have a few cities set up and have a few NPCs set up everywhere, stuff like that. But
don't plan like every single little thing in the city. Let it evolve from what the players say, because because then you're becoming more a person, a part of the city, and then
putting the three aspects on anything.
Yeah.
Define it enough. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, for instance, the three aspects of this place. Night has fallen. Okay, it's night. The sounds of echo, chirps, howls, blah, 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 night sounds, and hunger twisting your belly. Well, just based off that, eating oranges, and then the night sound grew into gnolls, which I knew that there were going to be gnolls out here based off everything. But, I didn't have to be like, there's sounds of this bird, which is native to this area.
Yeah.
You don't have to overdo things, and you can put a couple of aspects on a city and really capture the milieu of a city without trying to define every single little thing.
Well, I guess what I mean is at City X, I want to make sure that I have a, not anything insane, but an option in case you go north, south, east, or west.
Right.
That's kind of what I mean. Is just have a plan for not. Oh, you go north, this is going to automatically happen, but you go north, here's where you're going.
Right. So, like, for instance, when in the Gehenna world, when you guys were in Montana, and then you headed west to where Uncle Justice's, bunker was, well, and that's heading out to Idaho, that kind of thing.
Which, speaking of, I forgot to tell you guys this, my cousin moved to Idaho. So I Google mapped where she lives, and then I was like, "Oh wait! Out of curiosity, how far is Lowell, Montana?" It's like an hour and a half from where she lives.
Yeah,
like she lives an hour and a half from Lowell, Montana. I'm kind of like, I want to go check out Lowell, Montana now. Like walk around, talk to people on the street, be like, "Hey, I killed some of you guys."
Yep. Well, you could probably actually even find the house that was your guys' home.
Oh, absolutely. Because, you use the Google map. So I Google mapped it. I was like, oh, my God. Like, how funny is that she lives an hour and a half from there?
It's right
Google Maps is phenomenal for making modern games.
Oh, it's great.
That game that I was talking about in the forums where I made the zombie apocalypse, and I played myself, and Jacob played himself, and my wife played herself, and so on and so forth. And we had a group of friends, and we were all playing ourselves. And I literally did a Google map of our house, all the way out to like the front of the neighborhood, and then the place where the stores and the gas stations and all that. So I just have a Google map of our immediate area, and then as we expanded from our immediate area and we'd go on runs for like supplies and shit, I just Google map further down the road. It was great.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Was fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really
cool. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome because you could go visit whatever ranch that is over there in Lolo.
Your friends get pissed off when you blow up their house.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd blow their shit up. We stole a neighbor's truck because they had a big jacked up truck in real life. So we're like stealing their truck because there was a lot of zombies in the road and we just wanted to run them over. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Well, anyways, I'm going to take off because I got things I need to do. And if we're not going to be actually playing, I'm going to go take care of my responsibilities.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think I looked at my schedule. I'm off again next Tuesday, and actually they have me. I'm pretty much all nights at least for a while, so we should be good to go.
Cool.
All right, I'll catch you guys in the forum.
All right,
later.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Later.
Bye.